The scale is fine, but if they are presenting, we might.
Supportive. That's right.
Yeah. They can hear.
So,
Right?
Lunch in your hands to the
Hey, good morning, Ansa. Good morning, Siddharth. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good morning, Naveen.
Ankur, can you hear us? Hello, Ankur, are you there? Are you driving? Hey, Manju, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you all at breakfast? Or you are having breakfast? No. Hello? Devendra, can you hear us?
We can hear you, Naveen.
Yes, Naveen.
I was asking if you all had breakfast or still having.
Yeah, I had breakfast.
We'll start in 5 minutes. We're just waiting for a few more people to join here and then we'll get started.
Okay, sure.
Again, control B.
Sir? This one. This one with projection. This is for audio.
Got it. This one, right?
Yeah.
If I just remove.
Yeah, we'll definitely use this and we'll get.
Okay.
Okay, on the shortcut.
I'll just check what is the name. So, what is the short? What is that?
Okay. Duplication or.
Maker.
And. And plus it.
That's very.
Oh.
I will get it. Okay, for the folks joining online, Siddharth, Ankur, Devendra, Manju, and Sanjeev, can you just let me know who are yet to finish their presentations? And here, who are yet to finish their presentation? Bhavna is one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second time presentation. It's fine. It can go. 6, 7.
No. I thought mine is completed.
That's who are at to present.
Okay.
Who didn't present? Bhavna didn't again. Who didn't present yet? Okay, 1, 5, 7. Yeah, cool. Here online, can we have a quick raise of hands who are yet to present so that we can just plan the timing?
Yeah, I'm yet to present, Naveen.
Can you just type your name in the chat? Siddharth, right? Before we start, I just want like a small shuffling here. Like, who are the people who will be presenting to customers in general? Can you raise your hands? Like, okay, 1, 2.
Sometimes maybe.
Okay. All of you can just use stand and come on my right side, please. Like, it might not be like always. Hey, okay. Okay, who will be presenting the customers? Come on to the right. Who are like internal typically or within the team are not customer facing, come on to the left.
But I understand.
That's a good balance. Talk, maybe you still stay on the internal team side. Anybody have attachment to their particular seats or wants to experiment? Okay, here we don't need that seating arrangement, but within this, I'm sure Siddharth, I think he'll be speaking to clients. I think everybody online, Siddharth, you're on mute.
Yeah, everybody's client facing on the online.
Yeah, everybody's client facing. Perfect. So here is more on the internal side, this thing, and we have center, which is all the boards. This is fine. Okay, once everybody settles, we can start. How are the year? Right, can we all start? Yes, no, maybe, not sure. Can we all start?
Yes.
Okay, I think the Friday vibe is giving me a weekend vibe, but yeah. So before we start, I just wanted to know from you, like, what is some presentation or something, like it could be any product or it could be any person, like whose presentation you felt like, wow, like damn, it was mesmerizing. It need not be just business or technical related. It could be anything in general. Like, what was some of the craziest, probably a product or something which you saw, like, oh man, that presentation was like, or the way they portrayed their product was like really interesting. Anything coming onto your mind? Nothing. So there is no product which is on your mind, which is like, oh wow, that was, or you are like too sleepy to come up with some name. What is that? It's either of that.
The launch of iPhone by Bill Gates.
Yeah, our product.
Okay, apart from your product.
Launch of iPhone by Steve Jobs.
Launch of iPhone by Steve Jobs, that is one. Okay, what else? Anything? Anything else? That is one good one. Come on, just at least one product or anything. Cars, mobiles, gadgets, there's so many things are there. Nothing?
Mobile phones are one that is coming up. I'm just trying to think of something else.
Okay. Cool. So I'll just share a story. This is in the year 1970s. So there are a lot of people who are owning pets. But what is one of the challenge of owning a pet? I think some of you own pets here, right? Like, what is some of the challenges?
Taking them for a walk.
Can
Walk.
somebody who could listen to one? No one. Loudly.
Taking them for a walk.
Taking them for a walk. Anyone online have pets? Manju, Devendra, Siddharth, Ankur? No? Okay. Keshav, like, what are the challenges? One is taking them for a walk.
Giving bath. Giving bath.
Giving bath.
Leaving them alone.
Leaving them alone. Keshav, come on.
We are covered.
That's good. Come up with the last one.
Losing them is very hard.
Okay. Parting ways is difficult. Okay. So, folks online, maybe you might not have a pet, but based on your assumption or observations of others, like what were the challenges of a pet owner in your observation or guess? Few are already covered, like taking them for a walk, bath, parting ways with them. One last and we'll proceed.
Feeding them vegetables.
Feeding them vegetables. Okay.
Making random travel plans, is not possible because of the pet.
Correct. Because if you want to travel suddenly, taking care of the pet becomes a hassle. Right? So there was this guy called Gary Dahl who heard all these problems and he wondered, what if there is a pet with which there would be no problems? You need not worry about giving a bath. You need not worry about feeding it. You need not worry even when you travel anywhere. You can take it wherever you want and you need not even part ways with it because it will stay with you forever. And he created that pet. Can you guess what that pet was? Presenting you Pet Rock. Basically, it's almost the size of this one. He created a rock, put it in a cardboard.
The screen is not visible, Naveen. It's kind of hazy. I mean, I think the focus needs to be set.
Okay.
It's focused on you actually. The background is hazy.
Okay, just let me. Can you see this?
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay. So he took a rock, a piece of pebble, if I were to say, he placed in a cardboard with ventilation. And he told this pet will always stay with you. You need not worry about its maintenance. You can always talk and it's easy to manage. How does it sound? Silly,
Sounds pretty
Crazy.
lame to me.
correct? Only caveat is he made $1 million back in 1975. And he also launched it the second time. And again, he made a lot of money. So apart from the key learning that we can sell rocks for $1 million, one key thing here is whatever you have, the way you present and the thing you communicate to the pain point will make a lot of difference. And I personally urge US brands are the greatest ones to study and learn from. They can even sell a rock and probably a comb for people like me, right? So like if you are learning or thinking of the presentation skills, the Pet Rock is one of the classic examples. There could be many and iPhone's presentations is one of the example. But we will like delve into a couple of more things. But before I proceed, now that I gave you a clue, any other American brand or a product which comes to your mind, which they have like, man, recently there was a product which is a sandal, which became viral also.
Birkenstock.
Okay. They're bags.
Birkenstock.
Birkenstock is bags or
Oh,
sandal? Huh? Okay. Is the same company Prada or what? Okay. So have you heard of the company Prada?
Yeah.
Okay, Siddharth, like, did you read about the latest, like their controversy which they landed in because of a Indian product?
No,
Or
no,
product?
I don't know much details about it. I've heard about the brand. That's all. I mean,
So basically, they made something called like they launched a line of slippers which costed 1 lakh rupees. How much? So these are the traditional Kolhapuri chappals which are
Kolhapuri.
done in
Right.
Maharashtra.
yeah, this news we have heard.
That I have heard it.
Yeah, Manju or Siddharth, you can share a little bit. I mean, same or repeat, whatever you can share about it. Whatever you heard.
See, I've just heard a small story about it that they're charging a pretty high price about that Kolhapuri chappal, where in Mumbai, evenly in Maharashtra, since I belong to Maharashtra. So here,
Oh.
here it's hardly costing 1700 rupees. That is an original Kolhapuri chappal. So the people here have started,
How much that cost, Manju?
1700 maximum.
700 maximum. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you go with the stylish one with some handwork, with some little design on it. So it's cost something around 1700, wherein the same they have copied and they are selling at 1 lakh plus. So people here are very disturbed about that part. So that is
Correct.
something that I know, not much about it.
No, that's the crux actually, which we wanted to know. The design of the chapel which Prada released is like you can't make like the difference between the one which is made in India, which is the 1700 one. But they have like their XYZ stuff, which is their presentation, branding, or exclusivity, whatever you call. But the same product, but when you change the way you present it, they're able to charge a premium.
No, it's
Alright.
also a brand value, no?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not just the when I say presentation, it's not the aesthetics and this one, the brand value which they built, over a period of time,
Right.
right? So the same product. So what is the differentiation? One, like Manju, you said brand value. That is one. What are the other things?
marketing.
Marketing of it. Anything? One last point. Brand, marketing. You can say positioning. Like, how do you position that? Like, for example, the Petrock is positioned as something where all your pain points are addressed. Okay. Essentially, whatever your ideas are, by showing them in a different angle, perspective, and some of other background aspects, the value can be increased significantly. Now, forget about the brands. Think of your own ideas, either to your teams or presentations. The idea is the same. What are the things you think will increase the value or perception of your ideas? What do you think will put it across in a much effective way? Like just think like what happened in these two cases, right? We discussed two cases. Like one is a Petrock, one is like the slippers. Now assume that like picking some learnings from there, say I have an idea. Like what do you think will make my idea come through in a very effective way and appealing way? What are the factors? Any guesses, Ankur, Devendra, and there is no right or wrong answer. Don't think so much. I'm getting nervous. It's just that whatever is coming to your mind. That's it. We are not trying to figure out like, oh, there's this dictionary and are you matching to the dictionary? We're not doing that. Whenever you're presenting, like what are the things which will matter the most? Like keeping these two things into mind. Let's start with Bhavna. Whatever is coming to your mind.
I was going to say the way we present with
With Keshav, can you hear Bhavna? You can say no. Can you hear? He said no. Okay, Bhavna, loudly.
I was going to say the way you present your product, but
Okay, when you say the way you present, like, can you elaborate a bit?
Maybe how confident you are about your product.
One is how confident of whatever you are presenting, right? How does confidence come from, like, any points from, like, Kiran, yeah, go ahead.
The knowledge, the topic knowledge.
The topic, the subject, whatever you're speaking, how clear are you with the nuts and bolts? Okay. One, you need what is that? Confidence.
Product
Next is
knowledge.
clarity, product knowledge. What else? There is another C, but I'll tell it in the
Client
last.
requirement, you can say. Based on that, you can present the requirement.
Correct. Basically, understanding the pain points. Beautiful
Right.
point, Manju. It's like in the Petrox case, people had a certain pain points. You're talking in their language, right? Like, hey, these are your pain points. Basically, understanding customers' pain points and like ensuring your presentation is addressing that. Okay, what is one more?
Like just not telling what is all the product is about, but also understanding what the customer is required, like what is their requirement. Corely,
I'll just
it makes sense to them, na? Then only. Otherwise, it make no sense. You tell n number of the things, but it is not required for that person.
correct. So one, understanding the pain points and requirement, and here, because we have two teams, right? Even internally, when you're presenting to the other team members, for example, say Vinay is presenting to like Abhishek. Abhishek is your customer or prospect. Like you're telling him or pitching him an idea, you should address his pain points. Like, okay, how will this idea make that work better? Right? So the foundations or principles will remain the same. It is just that the other person, whether it's a team member or a customer, but this thing will remain the same. Do you agree with that? Folks online? Hello? Yes. If you just tell me yes or no, I think we'll proceed. Otherwise, I don't know whether we're stuck. Okay, so you understand the requirements of the other person. Okay. So confidence, clarity, understanding the pain points or requirements of whoever is joining on the other side. Just one more, come on. Gibson.
Identify the customer's uncomfortable area that we need to expose.
Right.
Then it will be attractive to them.
Can I say it's an overlap of the pain point, or do you see it to be slightly different?
No, we may not be identified that there is a gap like that
Okay.
where we are trying to pitch that, and we will tell that you are always facing like this issue. So we have a solution.
Understood. Basically, when you're presenting, you raise the point that every time you have this problem, but when this comes into picture, it will be solved.
Yes.
Got it. Next.
In some way build curiosity or something like that, like maybe in the sandal example that you gave, like what makes it so expensive, make the customer think, make him more curious about the product.
Make them more curious about the product. I didn't think about this, but I'd love to know later, like how we can build that. Because generally they come, but if you have anything, I'd love to know more, like how we can build that curiosity. But that's an interesting point, because in this case, that's the same. Like people are like, for example, we pitch a product, we tell it's a certain price range. They'll be curious, like, why is it costing so much? Maybe, right? Maybe addressing, that's a good point. Like whenever your ask is very high, like, okay, even your this thing, right? Like I'll be available only from this time to this time. Okay, why is that? Maybe that's an interesting aspect. Curiosity. Last one thing, and we can conclude.
Also creating the necessity of a
One,
product.
two.
User comfort
Okay.
and is
What elaborate on user comfort? What do you mean?
purchasing product to my home or using, it has to be like I had to comfort.
Convenience.
So again, I think I would put that under understanding the consumer, the requirements, right? One of the key requirements is comfort. Like for example, maybe it's two things, right? You're sharing some idea to a team member, whether it's making their life easier. Is it easy for them to deploy or implement? That is one thing. Same with the customer. Like you give them a solution, will it be a plug and play or least friction which can they plug into the system, right? That's a good point. Understanding the requirements, I'll just keep like taking comfort into picture. Vinay.
creating the necessity of owning a product or service.
Creating the necessity.
Necessity. Because most of the time, most of the products are like service we buy online. So I don't think like most of the time we will not be having that necessity, but they pitch in and then they will create like, you need this product, it will make your life better. So
Yes.
they'll pitch in that way and then they make the consumers.
This is very interesting. I'm able to recollect something which happened in my life, but unable to pick that product. But you really don't have that need, but they'll plant that need in your head like Inception movie, and you'll end up like, yeah, man, I think I'll need this. Anybody purchase that product like that? Srinivas, any experience?
There are instances. No, not experience. There are instances where end up buying that.
Okay.
Something like similar to these insurances and everything. Right?
Okay.
We're not having any plans for that. When we talk to them, right, that interest comes into.
Correct.
Not only one or two instances, most of us would have.
Just to complete Srinivas' example, like insurance is one thing, we might not give very active thought to it, but the moment you talk to those people, their way of explanation helps us understand the necessity and also probably partly planted and partly understanding the need also. That is
I would say most of us would have already fallen to the trap, but not realizing.
like any example. What is it?
COVID vaccine.
COVID vaccine. Okay, that's debatable topic because I had vaccine
One
and
thing,
I fell ill thrice. Okay.
Actually, that supermarket structure or the facilitation is like that. Actually, where in earlier days we are just going to a shop and we are telling that what I need. They'll be giving only that.
So
Now we are going through the entire sessions and unnecessarily we are pulling something.
Yeah. For example, if we go to a normal grocery shop, we'll prepare a list and we'll buy whatever we require.
correct.
But when we enter supermarket, so we'll buy the unnecessary stuff and then we'll spend a lot.
Right. So, and I think I'll take it in a positive tone as well. Like, I think extending on Srinivas's example, right? Like, insurance is something we might have some idea, we might have some plan, but that might not be the best plan. But again, the same concept, I'm just spinning it in a positive sense. Like, there are cases where, like, I go to quick commerce and maybe they push me, nudge me to buy more so that I'll get a discount. That is one way. But sometimes, genuinely, I forget, like, maybe I'm doing a travel, I just go there. Just because there are a couple of options, I realize, oh, this is important, and I end up taking that, right? So, taking this in a positive sense, like whenever we are presenting, can I say that, like when we give like bunch of options to the other user, again, same thing, right? An internal teammate versus also a customer. Hey, this is what will solve. And by the way, we also have this other XYZ things. They might not need it or ask for it immediately, but whenever they have a need, you will come to their mind, or whenever at that point in time they have a budget, they'll consider, right? So that is another aspect. Like whatever you're having, last point is like show the other things just like a cursory glance so that you don't know and they also might not know. It's like that Johari window, right? They also don't know, you also don't know, but the moment it flashes up, like what Vinay has said, but in a positive sense, they might like go for it. Cool. I think I'll stop there, but one last thing I'll just add, which is very, very powerful. And I think that is the foundation for a lot of billionaires and billionaire babas also in India. I would say, like, for example, if my grandfather or father tells, I mean, wake up at 5 a.m. Okay, fine. The moment Sadhguru tells, waking up at 5, your energies will be up next. There's something he will tell. What Sadhguru would tell, amazing, wonderful one. I should wake up at 5 a.m. Right? Like, it's not like, it is the same thing which is told. In fact, the majority of the self-help advice which is floating on the internet, if you sit and think about it, you would have heard like 50% of it at home from some or the other person. But what happens or what makes these people at such elevated level is the C called credibility, right? Over a period of time, which comes from consistency, right? When you are consistently doing something which is appealing, what builds is credibility. That credibility is like a multiplication factor, you can say, right? Like you have some idea, which is like, say it is like, I just give a rating of like 5 units. This credibility will become the multiplication factor. 1 into 5, 5, like 3 into 5, 15. So that's the impact which it can create. So net, what happens is when you're presenting to the customer or the internal team members, over a period of time, what is very important is how are you, one, maintaining, second is building your credibility. Because the more you are credible, the faster will be the point which the other person will absorb or come across, right? That will come with a lot of factors. Again, this is just some foundations at high level. We'll just take the situations. So in this session, what we will do is we'll go through the presentations. I want you folks to give feedback to each other. In the ending, I want to like hear more use cases which happen in the real life and just discuss those. Is that okay? Siddharth, Sanjeev, Amit. All right, we can start the presentations. Whoever is ready, I think you can post it in the WhatsApp group and just share it. Like, Bhavani, you start. Are you nauseatic? So we'll switch between online and offline after Bhavana presents. Like the next person can in the online can start. Who will go first in the online? Folks?
I can go.
Okay. So, okay, we'll just take numbers. Bhavana is one, Siddharth is second. Next. Who's Gypsum? You are supposed to, okay, Gypsum is third. Fourth online, who will do it? Who is there online after Siddharth? Manju, Devendra, Ankur, Amit. Hello? Okay, maybe I'll just finish it here only. After Gypsum, Damodar will go. Next is, I think Dinesh is done. Who's next? Basma, are you done? Okay. We'll just go in this order like this time. Bhavna, you can start. You shared it in the group. The WhatsApp, or you can WhatsApp it to me. Kiran, is this connected? Okay, I have to. You sent it. Okay, just another thing before we start. One, I completely understand all the presentation to the clients will be longer. There is no presentation to the client which will be done in 3 minutes. If that's a record. But the intent is to just quickly and give the feedback. But if there is anything which is needed in specific, we can join for a one-to-one and run through. That is what I did with Batova. Like he just gave me a demo. We identified like what are things which are good. So we continued that. What things we can just maybe try tweaking, and we did that. So some of these things will be common for all. Like basically keeping it crisp, paraphrasing the key points which you were told and asking their questions. So those are common. So that will be applicable for all. I'll put a doc and share with you. But any other specific things which you need, we'll discuss. Like each of us will have a particular challenge in the presentations that we'll discuss in the one. Okay. So Bhavna, you ready? Kiran, one Yusuf. Kiran.
You have to change the screen.
Bhavna, you need to use the keyboard itself. Okay, over to you. What I need to do is I'll be making a feedback. When I also want to just look at the points here and there. We'll be having two feedback, one from me and one from each participant. Egyptian, can you pass this? No. That is like now only Vinay will give it, but if anybody wants to write anything specific, if you observe, write it. But Vinay is expected to give feedback to Bhavna. For each one, we'll have it in pairs. So we'll have two feedbacks. So for example, for Damodar, Dinesh will be giving. For Kiran, like Abhishek will be giving. But in the meantime, if anybody wants to make note of, oh, this is good, like which is for your internal reference, go for it. This is extra sheets also. So yeah, we'll start. Can we clap for Bhavna, please?
So good morning. So I'll be presenting you guys with the IDAM application that I work on. So IDAM is basically identity and access management, which is a cyber security, which comes under cyber security. So here we see how we can secure enterprise applications using IAM. So basically, IDAM is a web application that we built, which makes sure that the right users will have access to the right resources in the application. So the core components are authentication, authorization, user management, and auditing. So in authentication, it
Your
is
background
basically
is
very
blurred. Your background is blurred. We are not able to see the presentation.
Just give me a moment. We have got that. Can you see now?
No. Your pin code.
Can you see now? Sanjeev?
Yes, yes.
All right. Yes.
So in authentication, we are going to verify the user's identity. If you're the user who you are claiming to be, you are, right? Over here, you'll have different authentication types such as password or MPIN or biometrics, etc. And in authorization, we give like it is the next step where you show what the user, the authenticated user will have access to in that application. And in user management, we have creation of user, modifying of user, activating, deactivating, or deleting the user. And in auditing, all of the activities that are done across the application will be stored in our database for auditing, that is security and compliance. The key principles here are least privilege, that a user is going to be given only access to what they need. They are not going to be given access to everything around the application. Role-based access is when a user is given access, it can be based on their role, what they play in the organization. Based on that, the access is given. And single sign-on is multiple applications can be onboarded to IAM. So once you log in to one application, you don't have to again give your credentials to log into other applications. You can directly land on the dashboard. And in multi-factor authentication, it is like a security to have another factor of authentication after a basic authentication. So here, if you see, we have user management. Like I said, you can onboard a user through to a form which is present in the portal. So there are 3 portals here. One is super admin, admin, and the self-service. So super admin and the admin portal, the users can do all the configurations over here, and creating of admins and users is done here. In the self-service portal, it is more for the end user. So in onboarding, you can onboard the users through LDAP, which is an Active Directory. You can do it through the form, which is present in the super admin or the admin portals, or the user can self-register themselves going to the self-service login page. And you can do bulk upload through Excel sheet. And also you can do SCIM. You can onboard a user through SCIM or an API. So you can also manage the users, that is their active, inactive, or you can manage their authentications through the portals itself. And you can also delete the users. Yeah, so about access management, you can onboard multiple applications to IAM. So it is like a centralized system where all the applications will be onboarded, and the users also are onboarded here in IAM. So whenever they're trying to access, they are given the access to those applications via role, the role that they are, through the attributes, that is, it can be the department that they belong to, or who their reporting manager is, and also based on the group they belong to. You can create multiple groups, or you can add a user into multiple groups, and those whichever application and what authentication types are mapped to that particular group, they will have to follow that. Coming to authentication, you see there is single sign-on. That is when multiple applications are onboarded to IAM, you can log in to one application and you don't have to put your credentials again when you're trying to log into another application. And multi-factor authentication is you're just giving another layer of security where you will prompt the user to go through another multiple forms of authentication. And it also, IAM also manages the session of the user. And adaptive authentication is like an advanced form of authentication where it tracks your risk factors like location change or the way you're typing your password. And then it will prompt the user to go for a step up, which is it will prompt the user to go give another type of authentication. And
Just slowly widen, like when it gives signal, slowly.
And on the right, you see there are a few things, that is approval workflow. So a user, whenever he's trying to request for any changes or updates or any registration of any authentication, they can go through an approval flow. When all of the approvers approve it, only then the changes will be updated. Then we have entitlements, which comes under access management, that only if you like not the whole application is given access to the user, only a part of applications will be given. Then we have a dashboard, which is advanced dashboard, which is superset. Then we have delegation. When you're not available, you can delegate your activity or access to some other person. And we have certifications where you don't have to keep reviewing accesses every day. It is automatic. And this co-branding is to change the look and feel of the application. And we have email templates where you can change the body, the subject of the emails that you send to the user mails. And we have dormant account management where the application manages it, finds out the user is inactive for a particular period of time and it takes the necessary action. It might be inactivating or deleting the user. And we have configuration management, like I said, the configurations are done via super admin and admin portal. So it is one application where you do the configuration and it is applicable to all the applications that are onboarded to IAM. And the reports and audit, like I said, every activity in the application is going to be stored in the database. The audits are going to be managed here.
And just last 30 seconds and.
Yeah.
conclude.
So this is the architecture. Basically, this means that any end user is trying to access the application, their application, the request, the authentication directly doesn't go to the client application. It comes to IAM, which is the centralized system. From there, all the activities are done, and then it look like to the client that is happening only to the client application. But behind there is IAM, which is like a trusted zone. So all of the user activities are done here.
Last slide.
And these are the different types of authentication types that Secure Pass has. That's it if you guys have any questions.
No questions. Okay. So we'll start off with the why there is no thank you. You should thank us. No, we waited for 6 minutes. Okay, so we'll start off with the things like which you liked. Everybody can share like what you liked in the presentation. What are the things which are good? And what I wanted to also kind of give a clarity is, see these presentations, like foundations of presentation skills is something which we can cover. But on top of it, what are the best things to present a client? How to work with teammates in like some nuances, you will know it better. So I want to start off with your feedback for Bhavna. First thing is, what do you liked in it? What are the things which you liked in the presentation? Start. Feedback time is 2 minutes, folks. We can't go on forever. So quick.
Covered all the features.
Hey, hi Naveen, Sanjeev here. Sorry to
Sanjeev.
interrupt. Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. Just 2 minutes, Naveen. Naveen, I have a meeting, 15 to 20 minutes it will take. I will come back and give the presentation. Is it fine?
Yeah, sure, Sanjeev. Works.
Thank you so much, Naveen.
Srinivas, yeah.
Yes, she has covered all the feature set of the product and she has got good understanding of the product. The way she has presented her feature set also is fine.
Covered everything. Like the presentation was like she has a good grasp of it. One, okay, more.
The slide that has a feature set, right, can be extended to 3 to 4 slides so that the clarity of the user will be there because the slide contains more data. The focus point from the customer side may not be there.
Got it. So your job is to make sure later you need to remember that. If you forget, Srinivas will remind you those things. Okay, thanks, Srinivas. Okay, next. Who's next?
Shall I complete this?
Yeah, Vinay. You're the designated this one. Go ahead.
So the good thing is that visually it was colorful and it was more appealing, that presentation slides.
Go ahead.
Font size was consistent across all slides, and but when it come to the third slide, it should have been much optimized. Like it was having more content. So when you're presenting, user like could have been like read that content instead of listening to you. So that is one of the things I noticed out there. And in that case, you should have used like animation or something. Like when you're explaining about that one first section, like if you have used animation, then it would have been better. So that is one thing. And then vocal variety, it was consistent, like the pitch, everything, it was consistent. And body language, when it comes to body language, it's good, but still you stayed at only one place. So it's better if you have moved, like, like while you're explaining, if you have like, like pointing to that particular section. So this is it. So that movement was not there. And then, yeah, and time management. So when it's given like, 3-minute deadline, we should be more, improve by like while delivering that it should be in time, right? So that's one thing. Overall good.
Cool. Okay, one last thing of what anybody observed, good stuff, Abhishek.
Yeah, as I think
Areas to improve, we'll have so many, but I want to start off with good
good
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, the colors were all really good. She was consistent. Her pitch was consistent. She had good knowledge about the product. She delivered it well.
Got it. Improvement.
Improvement, I think, again, the tone. It could have been, I think, Sir has told earlier, right? Depending on what we are explaining, it should have some depth
Correct. Little
and
variation.
gestures. These things are somewhere, I think, a bit of improvement help, and the content in the third slide, I think they have already told.
Got it.
That's all good.
Kiran, you want to share anything or anyone else, or otherwise we'll wind up?
Yeah.
Keshav has something, but he's hesitating. Why? Nothing?
The one good thing is she was saying it. And she was presenting.
You wanted me to ask for second time. Okay, she was maintaining eye contact with everyone, which is very, very important. Otherwise, like people will be left out. People they're like, man, you're seeing only me. That's a good one. Okay. I'll ask you every time you tell that was covered. All right. So anyone from online, what you liked in Bhavana's presentation? If you have no.
No, sorry, Naveen, I was on a call. So
No, if you're on a call, you need not tell because you're the only one who's on. You're generous enough to come on video, and we can all see. So no worries. The next presentations we'll take your feedback. But overall,
basically, she has a very good product knowledge, so she is able to deliver the whatever the main content to the audience. Okay, like role-based authentication. If person is not available, okay, on his leave, so he can transfer that roles. So that is actually one of the very unique points which she has very much betterly delivered to while presenting.
perfect. So yeah, that's a good one. So that's it, Bhavana. I think my feedback, I will share it with individually. I made notes, but if I were to tell, I think the vocal variety or this thing, right? When you're telling pitch being consistent, it is worth to vary it a bit, not like too dramatically, but pause. For example, okay, we have like say there are
sir,
three
bolo.
kinds of authentication. Oh my god. Siddharth, you need to stay on mute. Okay, it's done. There are three kinds of authentication. One, this, like that. So going that way. If you're on stage, definitely use that. If you're doing on a laptop, you need not like alter so much. But what is very much needed is giving a pause. Because like if you see, it has a lot of content. So for them to kind of grasp, pause and ask question, is this clear? Can I move? Like you might not do it here, but during the presentations, it's totally worth it. Because when you're asking them any questions, maybe if they're not even attentive, they'll just kind of wake up, okay, yeah, I think next line onwards, you'll have their attention. Otherwise, they're drifting in like something, you will realize at the end that they were not giving you attention. So there are some things, but overall, good job. In spite of fact that you were like awake all night, good one. Next, who's going? Okay, so this is what I call Gypsum. You can start. Okay. And Bhavana, who is this audience for? Like your presentation? Is it like internal team or clients or who will it be?
I'll send it.
The third, fourth, fifth slides are we all across our team use it. And we use it for presenting to the clients.
Clients only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So especially when you are presenting to the clients, there are some other things which we discussed, right? Like the transitions and all this included. Like I'm not repeating those things again. Basically, have it one after the other,
Yeah.
because the moment things are there on the slide, what is the natural tendency? We want to read everything. So we're like, like one part of the mind is on there, and second part you will not get the full attention of them. When you go with transitions, you will just go one after the other.
Correct.
That's the main thing. Okay, Gibson, we can. Right. This share the screen. So what is this? You want something? Good papers. Okay, transitions I did not disturb it on. Sorry. Okay, over to Gibson. Folks on online can see the presentation, right? Gibson is the investigating officer.
Yeah, good morning all. Basically, this particular presentation is based on the plane crash what happened recently. This,
No.
okay.
After what we know so far, that's like it's going to the next slide. A171, what we know so far.
Okay. Yeah, A171 is nothing but that the aircraft registration number, which it is crashed at. It's actually almost 269 logos are about means expired in that particular event. So it's a accident reported, and the people who are there in the aircraft as well as 19 people from ground also it is got expired in that. So usually we are going through this entire news about this one. Everybody might be read about that. So in that, where I am going through that, actually it's a basically there is investigation will happen, and there is some summarization will come, and there is it's a long process actually. I'll just take you people through that, what the further investigation and what is the outcome and what is the aim for that. So basically, this aircraft is Boeing 787 Dreamliner. That is a aircraft, and the fuel cutoff was the reason. That's what it's basically about the incident, what it's accident, whatever it has happened. That's basic reasons. Till now, what we know, that's what it's a fuel cutoff discovered, and the cockpit conversation they are able to identify that the pilot was asking to the co-pilot that who switched off the fuel, means the fuel cut off, that switch was engaged. So that who is that, like he was asking, that's what the last conversation which they can able to identify. And they are investigated backward that the aircraft, what was the condition. That was they did not identify any snag in that, and it was perfectly all right. That aircraft was in a good condition when it is taken off. That's what the complete history about that they are checked and they are identified that. The ongoing investigation, basically, we are come to know that there is it's a communication between them that just before that it was the fuel switch who is cut off. That what he was asking. So what are the details how they are extracting, or where from they will get. Actually, there is some equipments which it is basically in a part of the aircraft, which was located in different location in the aircraft body. So it's basically data recorders. Basically, it's commonly known as a data recorder, and DFDR is the one of the identifier or collection point for all the parameters, all the each and every equipment related parameters, it will be capturing in every seconds. Sometimes it is more than a second, means 1 second itself, there is multiple values will be recording. That level precise value, it will be keep recording for every seconds wise, and it will be first it will be coming to a center point which is able to record it, and it will be transferred to a safe location. For that, there is two types of data will be coming. One is the pure digital data, that is the FTR will be doing that recording. Another one is the voice record, means the cockpit voice record and the area voice record, like that. Some audios are there. That's actually in an aircraft cockpit area, there is a 4 mics are there. That all 4 mics are 4 different channels. It is basically so that many channels will be recorded into one equipment. These are the main recorders which will be trying to recover once the accident happens. For this, usually any aircraft, whenever the accident is happening, more safer side is the tail end. The tail end will be usually, it won't be going and hitting the tail end, because the full body weight will be there in the front end only. So it will be going and crashing the front area. So the back portion will be mostly, it will be remain something. So both the recorders, like CVR and FTR, both are kept it in the tail end of the aircraft. So it's actually kept it with a very secure packing and all such things. And the fire, it won't get spoiled, like that. So many additional security constraints are followed by that. So all the things why they are doing is, after the incident or accident, whenever it has happened, they need this data for further analysis and identify the reason, root cause, everything. For that purpose, they are maintaining these details in a very secure manner. Once that data which they are taken from the equipment, the equipment will be identified. In this case also, they are identified the equipment, both the equipments will be able to retrieve. So once they are retrieved, that voice recorded, that analysis is one side. That is it's going to be a manual analysis kind of activity. The second thing is the FTR. FTR may flight data recorded every seconds of data, what till it is crashing, whatever it was there, that it is recorded. That data they are taking. So that data they will be analyzing. It's almost one aircraft when it is flying.
Not visible. In the WhatsApp live. Take WhatsApp. Oh, is it Mike? It's not Mike.
I think
The investigation team is asking for
Yes.
trivial details. Gibson, what are you doing? This is confidential data.
So the parameter analysis, basically 1 second they are capturing almost 2,800 parameters for this particular Dreamliner aircraft. That many parameters, it will be keep adding in the row by row for every seconds. That much of data is there. So these many parameter behavior will tell you that what happened for this. This is the analysis basically it is way. So this analysis, there is some software required. Once the data retrieved from this one, that particular software it will be using for analyzing that. Basically, I got a chance to work with that software. So that analysis, once it is done, there is some report it will be extracted. That reports the basic reason for, technical reason for this issue, that it will be telling. The fuel was not flowing. Yeah.
You have time.
Yeah.
Last two.
Fuel was not flowing. That was the issue. That they are able to tell. But why or how it has happened, that FTR is never able to tell. There is the CVR is coming into picture. That there is some communication is happening, means obviously that it will give some lead. Therefrom, they are getting to the next level, that the fuel was switched off by somebody. It's manually only possible. That's a basic thing. But both are asking each other that who did. That's what the situation. Why the investigation? It's the point which I'm trying to present actually. Identifying the practices for whatever practices are following with the industry, or that basically the DGCA is our body for controlling this entire aviation sectors. So they will be identifying some practices that has to be changed, because this kind of issue can happen based on some mistakes which it has happened from the pilot. Maybe pilot, if at all it is a pilot mistake, then it can be changed like that. This is the authority-wise good practices they are identifying. The second thing is actually identifying the practices for the aircraft itself. The particular aircraft, there is a chance for by mistake it can get engaged. Then the switch is direct switch, means it will be adding one more slotting for that. It cannot be just push, or just by touching it won't get engaged. Like that's a hard switch they will be bringing into picture. This kind of practices are bringing based on this kind of case. Basically, the aircraft design is that sophisticated. So obviously, this all the constraints are there considered in multiple levels. And the risk mitigations, whatever it has happened based on the data analysis and all such, they will be identifying what kind of issue is happened. That risk, how we can completely eliminate or mitigate. That may be, again, it will be coming to a new circular for the entire pilots or entire industry itself. Like that's something it may come. That is again come through both the channels, like the provider of the aircraft or the DCA body kind of thing. And eliminating the chances of occurrence. This is the final goal which they are trying to do by this particular activity. The investigation, basically, it is end up with that only. Means it should not happen any further. At least one time also, it should not happen. For that, what we can do? For that, what can be changed for fixing up this issue? This is what they are actually finding out. I hope this was. I think this is completely different from our topic at all, but still, thank you all.
Good. When we can stand like that. Quick round of what you liked, and later we'll go with the kind of improvements. But anything you liked, if you are not speaking anyone, I can start.
Yes, Susan's previous experience to
I was about to tell that Srinivas stole my point. Okay. What is this?
I have questions.
Oh, no questions. No. So maybe I'll just go. Gibson, I think the structure was good. Like, in fact, the first thing is it was an intriguing slide, because the moment the opening cover page was there, we were like, okay, had some clue, but it was not entirely revealed. I think Abhishek was talking about curiosity aspect. Now I feel like this presentation opening had that. Next, the thing was the structure was really nice. Hey, this is what happened. This is what happened till now. This is what is happening next, and this is how the decoding is happening. So the structure was good, and brief explanations for each of the terms, because they were technical in the audience we didn't know. I think that was helpful, and I think you got attention of everyone also because of the incident, the topic, the rarity of the occurrence, and all. Now I think coming to some things which could take this to the next level is, and it is again common for all of us, and Bhavan, it will be applicable for you also. Whenever we're presenting, hey, this is what this topic is about. For example, we all know that there is this unfortunate incident, but today I'll give you an overview of what is happening and how the investigation process happens. So people know, oh, this is what Gibson is going to tell, and they're going to map it logically in their minds. Right now, I think directly when you go to the topic, they need to take a time to guess. So if you tell the context, it is basically context setting. Things will sync easily. And I think another last one is, if you see, I mean, it's a great choice. You picked it from your previous industry. Now, I guess maybe you do something similar with your RCA root cause analysis. Maybe it's the same thing, right? Maybe if you can tailor the presentation in the ending, like, hey, these are some practices from the airline industry which we can pick. Maybe our RCA is good, like say it is 7/10, but if we do this, it will be 9/10. So that will be much more relevant to the audience because you have a lot of experience and exposure there. And with that, the current RCA will improve. So the presentation will be much more relevant. But overall, like interesting topic and overall it is good. With this minor changes, it will be wonderful. So thanks. All right. We go with someone online now? It's still not there. They don't respond. I need Damodar to step in. Now is getting. So, quick question: when you're presenting, all of you do set context, or it may or may not be. How is it like? Usually yes. Others? Usually yes. Anything which you have seen till now, which generally is not, or you might have missed, or everything what you're doing is already. What I'm trying to say is anything you learned in the past 1.5 hours. Okay. Or no, this is all something which we do. That's also fine. Like, it's kind of there. Fine. I think that's a good thing only. Can everybody online see this?
Yes, yes, yes.
You need to press the bottom slide. All right.
Well, good morning all. This is Damodar, working as a lead developer with mSigner application. Okay, so today I'm going to discuss with the daily hunting activity for us, and we are revolving around it, and the entire world is running behind it. So the topic is the artificial intelligence and its impact in the sector, IT sector. Okay, so first of all, what is artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is nothing but our human activities simulation. Like we are able to think, we are able to make decisions, we can predict. So all these like general activities what we do when we work. So this we are going to simulate on the missions. So this is what we call artificial intelligence. So as I said, it is the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think, learn, and make decisions. Okay, so what we require to make them systems to think and take decisions and learn. So basically it is programming of our experience, previous use cases, experiences, and many scenarios we are programming into the system in structured way that will process the data, means what that will process our inputs, okay, and give the decisions or give the predictions and forecast the things. Okay, so the next thing is the core technologies that we can use for the artificial intelligence is machine learning. So as I said, it is the process of making the systems to program in such a way that can process the data efficiently and give decisions quickly. Okay, so that is there. We have different languages like machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, and many other things. So with this, we can achieve this artificial intelligence in our life. Okay. So what are the impacts with the artificial intelligence in our IT sector is it automates the repetitive tasks. Like we are doing daily testings, daily deployments and monitorings, these kind of activities we can make automate and it will continuously work on it. Here it will reduces the manpower, okay, and it will not get tired or it will not be tedious. So the efficiency will improve, okay. That is where we can go for the artificial intelligence. And the second point is enhanced security. So as compared to the human, when we have given the some work with machines, it will give more efficient results as compared to human, as we have given all the inputs when this kind of scenario comes, what you have to do. So human may forget, but machines will not forget. That's why the efficiency security will improve with the machine. And the third thing is in our daily routine life, we are doing this. That will be the software development will be improved a lot. Okay. So for whatever reasons, if we don't know anything, we can go and ask the artificial intelligence tools to get the information. So this is where we can get more efficient codes and make efficient productive softwares. Okay. And the other point is enabling intelligence decision makings and support IT operations. So there are multiple automated systems available to work 24/7, like chatbot, okay, and virtual agents. These are the things where we not require human interactions. This keep whatever questions we ask, this will be giving the replies or answers to our questions. So in this manner, we can use the artificial intelligence. And the final conclusion is the IT sector is all around revolving this again artificial intelligence. So it is a like revolution in this sector. Okay, it offers increased efficiency and security and innovations. Okay. And the entire future is going to be the AI world. Okay, so it will give efficiency, automated and adaptive systems. Okay, that's it, my presentation. Thank you.
Just start off. I'll just give the feedback in the ending. If anybody wants to do it, we can do quickly. Damodar, first of all, I think you had a comfortable opening because the moment coming here, first thing is this nervousness. But I think today I didn't feel that. You're like, guys, you know what? Like, it's not like reluctance, but I feel the initial nervousness is not there. I think you're like, hey, I got this taken care. Is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
Everybody agrees. I'm not patronizing you. So next thing is the choice of topic, like how AI is going to affect everyone, because that is the fact. So it is relevant and the choice of topic was good. And the context was set, like in the initial it said, oh, he's going to talk about this, so let me hear. And the last thing is like you kept it short. So it saved me in stuff like, hey, time's up, hello, hello. So that is not there. So you are kind of prepared like, hey, we should keep it short. Now, a couple of things I think which could take it to the next level is I'm not repeating the same transitions and all that. That is taken care. And HD images, you have better like images in some places like which are HD. There are free sites as well. But I think if you could have shared like one specific example, either of a tool or like, for example, I think Sanjay was using this app called Gamma for the presentation. Like, hey folks, earlier for making a presentation, we had to spend like 2 hours. But now, like using tool like Gamma, you can do it in 10 minutes. So people are like, oh man, that is very interesting. So the examples are the use cases. Maybe like some debugging tools which you can use, which will reduce your time. Just 1 or 2 examples. People will feel that, oh, this is very important. And also you need to take a stand. Like you want to talk about AI enabling productivity, or AI safety needs to be taken care, or AI deployment needs to be done in a better and efficient way. You need to take a stand. The generic thing is good, but narrow it down to 1 point. And last thing is, I think small thing, you are fiddling with your ID card in between. don't do that. Like you're doing really good. You should just continue that comfort level. Overall, I see a significant change in terms of your comfort thing more than this presentation or anything. Just do it thrice. And I'm sure you will tell Naveen, yeah, you're right. Like, I think this is not as scary as that it used to be. So that's it. So thank you. And anybody wants to share? Like, otherwise, we'll let Thomas go. Okay, nothing.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sure.
Okay, finally, can I have anybody online present? Or everybody are just continuing with their works? Ankur, thanks for seeing me back.
Can I go in next?
Of course, sir, we are like waiting for you. Please. I'll just allow the screen share.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Ankur, can you confirm that you can share your screen?
Yeah, I'll just share it.
So while Ankur sets up, lot of these things will be obvious, but we'll miss it. Small things. And I'll just give an example. I think, say, when Gibson was presenting, his phone was not like in a silent mode. You might think that, oh no, just it missed this time. No, it happens in the real time in some situation. So these are all small checkpoints, right? Especially if it is a big presentation. In normal presentations, you will switch it off or you will keep it on silent mode. When the stakes are high, the nervousness will be high and the chance of making that will be high. So whatever is happening right now, everything is like, it's taken care. But please, like, make sure, like have a checklist or some sort of things. Even at high stakes presentations, you should be able to maintain that calm. Ankur ji, over to you.
Yeah, so my screen is visible.
Yes, you can put it in present mode also, if you may.
I have already done that.
Really? Am I mistaken? Ankur, I think that big, the number is there, no? 65%. Beside that, click it. No, that. No, not that. Not increasing the font. Click that. Just beside 77, there is that icon, right?
Yeah, this I've already done.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
I mean, your other slides are also visible. I don't know.
I don't know. I've already on my system. It is the presentation mode which is on right now.
Anybody?
Back to the top left, I think he'll be getting one option that I think he has to change.
Which one, Abhishek? File, in click file or where?
He'll be getting that option on the top left.
Question mark is there, no? Beside closing.
Not here, like he'll be seeing that.
Only he can see.
Yeah, because it will come in that presentation mode.
Okay, if that is not figured out, Ankur, you can proceed. We will try our not to see the other slides. You can't assure though.
If this is working, if this is
yeah. Clever man. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
No trust us, but that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. Today I'll present my presentation for data analytics. My topic would be data analytics. Data analytics is something which we all are using in our daily life. Maybe consciously or unconsciously, we are taking decisions on the basis of data each and every day. So to start with data analytics is the process of examining, cleaning, transforming, modeling, and drawing the conclusion from the information which we are getting and supporting the decisions which we are making. It involves statistical techniques, algorithms, and technology. Technologies, there are multiple tools like SPSS, SAS, and Click, where you can do the data analytics and probably a bit of business intelligence and modeling as well. So the core steps of data analytics would be data collecting, data cleansing. When you collect any kind of data, they may be in the form of raw data, or they are basically structured or unstructured data, where you have to do a lot of cleansing. Then probably you'll reach on a step where you can analyze the data. So data analyzing are of different types, with which you can drive any kind of decisions through that data. That may be descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And after these data analysis, you can present the data and take the decisions. That is mainly interpretation of data and sharing the result. That may be done through in the forms of graphs, bars, whatever results you are seeking. So I'll talk about types of data analytics. These types are descriptive, where you are summarizing the data. The best example of this would be any kind of sales report, what you have done in the past, and you can completely summarize how the quarter one, quarter two, quarter three looks like, and also the monthly evaluation can be done. Diagnosis is something where we have to find the root cause analysis. So these kind of analysis are mainly done if there is any cancer data, or these kind of data are there. So these data are analyzed, and we try to find out the root cause, or where these things basically started from. Predictive is basically forecasting. Indian Meteorological Department usually uses this technique to give us the prediction, like on next year on the same date, what would be the weather forecast. Prescriptive would be basically it recommends action basis on your analysis. So inventory optimization is generally done through this. So I'm coming on to my favorite topic, which is cricket. How data analytics is used in cricket. So first type can be performance analytics, where we analyze the batting averages, bowling averages, strike rate, boundary percentage, and shot selection. Every team analyzes these things before coming on to bat, or going into, when we are going into field, we analyze how the batsman averages in certain conditions, or what is the strike rate. We plan our things according to that. And next thing can be opponent and strategy analysis, if the openers of any opponent teams are not batting well against Jasprit Bumrah, we can opt out some other strategy. Real time analysis can be if Rishabh Pant or anyone is playing some rusty shots, then we can probably plan up something in the third man, or that can be real time decisions which any captain tends to take. Injury prevention or workload management, if you are coming onto a long tour, so current example can be Jasprit Bumrah, where the Indian team is trying to manage the workload of Jasprit Bumrah. Some other real world examples can be in retail. Basically, the inventory management is completely done through data analytics. The kind of stocks which we have to keep in our go down, and how much is the stock we have to keep with the stockist. So all these decisions are taken through data analytics only. In finance and banking, whenever we are getting issued any credit card, it is a lot of fraud detection and civil score. All these things are checked in the back end, and all those things are done through our credit history, and a lot of data analytics is done. So e-commerce platforms basically analyze what in certain area or in certain pin codes, what is the things that they are ordering more or less, and what is the kind of requirements are coming from a particular area. In sports, I've already told, multiple things are done. In healthcare also, these days multiple things are done in through data analytics. Weather and environment, IMD is already using through giving us these analysis of next few years analysis of weather. Manufacturing does the data analysis. So I want to summarize this presentation by saying that data analytics unlocks the power of raw data, where we can take a smarter decision, applicable across industry, health, finance, sports, and more. So real world application, and we can drive innovations and efficiency, which is done through AI currently, and smarter things. Smarter decisions are being taken in the real world at present. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ankur. So, quiz for all. What's the favorite sport of Ankur? Who is the favorite cricketer of Ankur?
Jasprit Bumrah.
So, two things at least we all got to know. So, thanks for that. So yeah, I'll just start off and others can pitch in. But I'm not sure if you observed this particular template of topic is very powerful. How whatever the topic transforms area. For example, how digital signatures transform your customers, whatever. For example, Bhavnas, how this thing will help this one. So this template or the name as such is powerful. You can use it in multiple places whenever you're presenting internally or to the clients. How this particular thing, like say Dinesh wants to introduce a new customer support software to the team. Like, hey, folks, use this. How this particular software will help us. Then 1, 2, 3. So that's a good topic. Ankur, like nice presentation. First and foremost, I think your energy was really good. Like there are times, actually, this is another important topic. It is not just the content, your energy is infectious, right? Like I'm telling or talking about a topic, like for example, I'm giving a presentation to Vinay on how certain things at data center can be managed better. Like, dude, Vinay, like we can do some things and I think it will be nice for data center and all. Vinay, like, fine. But if there is a little excitement or this thing is added, I'm not telling that when I will change data center management, not that. It is certainly like small subtle aspect, right? Like, hey, I think we can do a couple of things which will make it better. Like slightly. Again, I know each one of us will have certain personalities. We might not be so much expressive, emotive, but definitely don't be on the other side. So that is one thing. So, Ankur, the energy is one of your strength which you would leverage. And I think even though there was a small glitch, like we're telling, hey, it's not on the present mode and all, you're like, okay, man, I just changed something and you figured out that hack. So that was good. It was short and crisp. Like that is another aspect, right? It was like within the time limit, he adapted to it. And you gave an example of the impact, like this particular area with a specific example. I think that's what Damodar we are discussing, like, take this and with an example that will make people understand it better. And last is the summary. Like, so net, this is what this is about. Because whenever you are explaining something to someone, they will make all the points in their mind. When you summarize, it will crystallize. They'll retain that, right? Like, say, Bhavnas, your presentation. Okay, as a summary, this is what this is. It's almost like the climax of the movie, you remember it, right? Like, oh, this is what has happened. And FYI, there is a theory that even though the first half sucks, if the second half you lift it, the movie will be hit, relatively, right? It's almost like that. In the ending, like, give it a good one. Couple of things which can take to the next level, Ankur, is setting the context. I think you said it, but give a little more. Like what you're going to talk. Like, okay, data analytics. I think you've done it, but slightly more so that we know what we're getting into. And especially, again, same thing for teams and this one. You're deploying a product, you're giving an idea, give a sense of what the life of the customer or team member before and after. For example, in this case, before data analytics, how was cricket? Right? Ankur, you can give an example, right? Okay, earlier, like in Kapil Dev's era, it was all of more of a guesswork.
Right.
But when it comes to Dhoni's or Kohli's era, like it is more calculated,
Right.
right? Algorithm is part of the team members, this thing. So that will make people, oh, and also tell the value. This much, this is how it's going to create impact. Not just that it is sitting on the table. You will be able to predict accurately this particular teammate will be a better choice, right?
Right.
So same thing, like you're deploying a product. What is the life of the customer or the team member before and after? That is a great transition which works in multiple places. Even Vinay shared about the Steve Jobs like presentation. It's a great presentation. 100% recommended to go through it. He bashes all the like BlackBerry iPhone models and all that. He does it. Yeah, it sucks. It has a style and this thing and that. And he tells, you know what? After iPhone, your life will be like this. People feel as if God came to earth. It is just a phone, but the whole vibe and the narrative is different, right? So, life before and after is a beautiful one. And I think, and other small things which is kind of cover transitions and all. Icons, I think you shared like different areas where this is impactful. I think in some presentations it's done, some presentations you can add. As much as possible, go for pictorial things. I think this was more of a text heavy one. Areas where data analytics is helpful.
Prepared in 5 minutes, this presentation. That is why no pictorial representation.
Okay, fine. So in that case, it is fine, but in general, right?
Yeah.
So those are no. So overall, I think then that is fine. Given that it is a short time and this one you are aware of it. Overall, like leverage your energy, which is your like strong point. And the examples was good. Summary was good. Just other things, maybe if you can redo this, not right now, whenever you are free, it will be a good one because in general, others can also understand. We can also see whether it is covered, right? And if there is anything which maybe your real life presentation which you use, that is much better because we can also like sit with you for 2 weeks later and ask how is it going.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Ankur. Everybody, can you give a round of applause?
Thank you.
So who's coming next here? Kiran. Come on. The Panther. You will connect with that. Will it have some extra animations?
Need the presentation. So that's fine.
There are some specifics which we'll cover later. The dynamics of in-person presentation and online presentations are entirely different, right? Some things will be same, but a lot different. And I think Gibson also shared some interesting situation where oh, echo. People don't join with their screens on. You also. Okay, maybe Kiran, you go ahead. That's fine. Okay, guys, like please give feedback. Just that I didn't identify, but generally whoever is can identify points, go ahead.
So, good morning, everyone. So I'll be talking on few IT controls with respect to the Microsoft and Microsoft Azure. So key deliverables will be Microsoft Cloud Services as well as Azure DevOps. So if you take Microsoft Cloud Services, there are a few security implementations we have done. So one is enabling multi-factor authentication at our organization. So you can see if you access your email account from outside the organization, so you'll be getting the OTP to your registered mobile number or authenticator app.
Just sorry to pause. How will they get to see this? I can show the screen like this, huh?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
But Zoom, you are here, right?
Yeah, you can remove the blur. You should come to video. Remove this blur.
Okay. Folks, like you need to see the TV here in this case. Can you start from the beginning, Kiran?
Yeah. So I'll be covering all this Microsoft Cloud Services and this Azure.
Opening slide. Everybody ready?
Graphics is here, Matrix, okay.
So as I told, it is Azure. So cloud services, Microsoft Cloud Services, as well as this Azure DevOps. So mainly I'll be working on these two applications. So when you take the security implementations, we have given MFA to the organization. You can see
Kiran, your voice is very low.
WhatsApp as well as the Authenticator app and as well as the SMS. So there are three mode of authentications out there in the MFA.
Kiran, your voice is very low.
Disabled external sharing to the outside organization. You can see earlier used to share the data to outside organization to the personal devices or personal IDs. So now currently we have disabled it to the organization level. And we have enabled Microsoft Defender for Office 365, where it is giving a protection for phishing and spam attacks. You can see nowadays we are getting more and more spam calls, spam SMS, spam emails, where they're asking you to click the links and attachments where it lead into some phishing attacks. So we have enabled to protect all these things by using a Defender. And we have enabled security alerts and incident managements where when you're accessing some sensitive data outside the organization, so we will be getting an alerting system. So we will be making that all the alerts records and we'll be sharing to the respective management. So in user data production, we were insisting users to move the data to their OneDrive. So initially it was in the local drive, so we are insisting more and more. I think still they are doing it up. So once the data is moved to OneDrive, it is protected in the cloud. So in case of any eventual hardware failures, so we can use this OneDrive for the data retrieval. So security and compliance course. So we have these are the only few policies. There are many other policies which are in place. So you can see by all these policies, we are able to achieve 85% of security score in the Microsoft as well as the 80% score in the compliance. So these are all the overall scores. And coming to Azure DevOps. So one is access and security management, where we access the user roles and project permissions and secure access with respect to this MFA. And project and repo oversight. So creating and managing the repositories and Git repos and enforcing the branch policies. So we'll give the branch policies for the respective managers to review the code and approve the code and to push it to the master branch. And artifacts and package management. So initially all the data were moving to the client by using OneDrive. So now we are insisting to push it through artifacts so that it is trackable. So if you take any project, we'll get to know how many patches has been pushed to the client. So it can be done on a report basis. So publishing secure and managed artifacts to reuse the traceability. So compliance and audit readiness. So when all these controls are in place, it will help us to support the SOC 2 audits as well as the IS audits, and it can be traceable with the logs and governance practices. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Why are you laughing? You're laughing in the sense you're happy, you're excited with something. I'm happy. There is a reason. Okay. Keshav. We'll tell Keshav because otherwise he'll tell they covered. Okay, Keshav.
So his voice was little
Okay. Okay.
more content, the content was more. So somewhere he was supposed to put in a good appearance way of presentation.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Others? Anyone else here? Sanjay? Use case could be added. Having a use case will help. Okay. Only tech people can, like you only can tell. Layman, I can't make it out. Good.
This is the first time I'm presenting something.
Okay, first time Kiran is presenting something. That's his debut presentation. We should. Anyone online want to share your feedback? Ankur, Devendra, Manju, Amit, Sanjeev, Anup. There's so many pending in online. I think only Ankur.
Actually, we couldn't hear anything.
Wow, I'm sorry, yaar. We weren't checking.
Devendra was even telling in the during the presentation time only, but I believe none of them listened.
Oh, okay. We are sorry. I think it was on mute. I'm sorry. I think next presentation I'll get it sorted.
But first, whatever the first page means first PPT slide, na, the image he has used, it was very iconic.
First slide image was iconic. Go to the first slide then. Okay. Ah, movie. No, before movie effect. Ah,
This one was very awesome.
yes. Correct. I too felt the same. Like in the movies before, they have some cube technologies had and something like this was like that. Okay. What else? What else? What else? That's it. Can you go to the next slide? No, stop. Okay. So this one, what did you want to convey to people?
So I just wanted to confirm this. We have security controls which are in place
Okay.
currently, which is running and active.
Okay, security
Yeah, just I
controls.
wanted to inform security controls.
Okay. Basically, if the same thing, right? Again, like, hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Kiran. Like in this presentation, I would like to share about the security controls which are there in place. Like that will set the context. I think I don't remember exactly, but there was a bit of a rush.
It was,
And I think given that it is your first time, don't worry about all that. I think you should just focus on how many times you're repeating so that you get better. So first thing, I think a lot of things which are good, like the presentation was done very clean. I think the theme was consistent all across. And you had the basics covered, that is like the transitions, logos, and other things. And I think the overall topic was also like, I think relevant and clear, which most people can get it. First, I think again, most of it, don't worry because it's your first time. It happens. Like even when I gave my speech for the first time, they didn't understand what I was speaking. First of all, the content wise, the speed wise. So that happens. But again, I think I felt like you were doing a rap. In the rap songs you have, right? Like so that was like having like too fast, but that is fine. And some small changes is if you go to the one of the slide, again, this is for all. I think this is good, like 2 points. Yeah, just go to the next slide where you had the percentages, right?
Yeah.
For example, this whole thing, like say it is leading to some impact. So the impact slide is something which you should emphasize. If we put it in the same thing, that emphasis will reduce, right? Like you have some point which you want to highlight. Okay, Sanjeev, Naveen, can it not hear you? Okay, maybe I'll just complete. So here, when you're having some point which is creating impact, make sure it's on a separate slide and pause it. For example, now with all this being done, I'd love to share how much impact it is creating. Security score, it's 80%, and compliance, it is 80, which is one of the best or whatever it is. You can just add that one line. So people are like, oh, this happened and this is the impact. So that those are the minor stuff, but it's the same thing. Whatever you're presenting the idea, you will be going towards an end. Like this is the main thing. Basically, I can call that hero slide. So make that hero slide little emphasis. That's pretty much it. These people are not able to hear us. Okay, thanks, Kiran. I think who's going next? You can connect this. So
I
people
can
online.
go next.
There is few challenges on the site. So
You can
I'll switch over to my laptop, this connectivity.
this one. Huh?
Yeah.
I think no, it's fine because Zoom is there, no?
So I'll join Zoom if required.
Hey, we'll just do one more and then we'll take a break. I know it's been a while.
Joining, can I join Zoom here and project it?
No, this you can connect back to the same thing, no?
Same thing.
It's easy. Sorry, Devendra, is it you? Like who wanted to go next or Anup?
No, I can go next. Devinder is given already.
Oh, Siddharth. Like I was not able to. There's a slight lag here. All right, Siddharth, you can share your screen. Are you able to share the screen?
Yeah, are you able to see my screen?
No.
One sec.
YES.
Yes, is visible.
Okay. Yeah. Fine, good to go.
Absolutely, all yours.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. This side, this is Siddharth Bongobash from eMudra, and it's a very fine morning, and it's really good to have all the dignitaries from the state health department sitting here to understand about this big digital transformation that all the most of our customers are going into, and in fact, the entire world is going into. So, we have joined here to basically discuss on how the manual signatures or the manual verification of documents can be converted completely into into digital signature atmosphere. But just before going into further detail, let me just quickly take 30 seconds permission from you to explain who eMudra is and what we actually do. So, eMudra is a global leader in digital identity, trust services, and paperless transformation for the past 15 years and more. Now, we are already operating in 25 plus countries, and we offer cutting edge solutions in digital signatures, authentication, and secure paperless transformation. We are backed up by a strong R&D team of 250 plus experts, and we help the business and governments ensure total compliance, enhance their cybersecurity posture, and build digital trust worldwide. So that's in very brief what eMudra does, and most of all you would be already using our digital signature USP tokens and the certificates in your day in day out transactions. But I think that's in a very small scale. Let us discuss why it's required in a larger scale and in an organization wide mode. So let us first understand what digital signature is, for a layman and for day-to-day transaction. So a digital signature is nothing but it's a digital transformation or a alternative to your hand signature. So it is equally valid in the court of law as per the hand signature. And apart from that, digital signature also ensures that the identity of the person remains valid, it can be authenticated, and also the integrity of the data or the document which has been signed, it remains correct or as per the original data which has been signed or been agreed by the user. Now, digital signatures can be done at any time of the any time of the entire day on the fly itself. You do not actually need to have a hard copy in front of you, a pen in front of you, and to sign. That could be a very cumbersome process. There could be many mistakes. It's very hard to even manage a handmade signature because a hard copy document has a life cycle and it tends to get destroyed in due course of time. But a digitally signed PDF data, which is kept in a soft format in your database, in your servers, remains valid throughout the lifetime. It remains alive. It speaks about your activities through the entire life cycle of the document. So basically, it enforces non-repudiation, which even a handwritten signature cannot do, because a handwritten signature can be forced, but a digital signature cannot be forced. A digital signature is being using a signature, then it is being affirmed by the user that they are particularly verifying the data personally and then signing on the contents. Second, additionally, it also comes with a timestamp, which also enforces the particular time, the date, and even in many cases, the location also from where the document has been signed. So whenever in case of a court case or any legal case, a digitally signed document can be put up in front of the court, and all the details can be legally verified, and those stand pretty solid and pretty rigid in the court of law. So these are the very strong reasons why you should immediately think of transforming from a handwritten signature to a digital signature. So there are a couple of things which will actually support which actually supports the organization in terms of viability, in terms of legal efficiency, and in terms of saving papers as well. Now going ahead, there are two type of signatures which you already probably be using, but let me just make it more clear for many users who have not actually have experienced it. So there are two types of digital signatures. One is a token-based digital signatures. You might have seen the small USB kind of devices. Those are actually FIP certified compliant token devices which store the private and the public key of the digital signature that has been issued to a particular user. Now, these tokens are completely handled by the user itself, and this can be inserted in your local system to sign on any data or a document that you have already verified. Now, in the coming days, I mean, after the token-based digital signature was issued by CCA, e-sign technology was also brought into the picture due to many other reasons as well. So, because carrying a USB token also can become sometimes very cumbersome for the users, there are chances that user may damage a hardware device or they may lose a hardware device, which can further be picked up by some unauthorized person to carry on with some fraudulent activities. So, e-sign gradually came into the picture, which enforces a totally, signing without any hardware device and also signing on the move. So e-sign is basically an electronic signature which also releases certain private keys and public keys on per signature request, and those are immediately destroyed after a certain period of time once the signature is done. You do not need a token for that. You simply need to have API integration with the application that you are using for the data for the document management. You need to issue a signing request, and based on that, the signature will be created, which will be further authenticated from the user via a OTP, which can be which either can be linked to your Aadhaar card. So that is called a Aadhaar based e-sign, or which can be linked with your organization. So that is called a organization basis e-sign process. So in any which way, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Like we are 5 minutes. You can slowly, like last 1-2 minutes, you can move towards the closure.
Yeah, sure. So these are the basically two signature activities that you can perform. Now, we have done a huge good research, and we have found that these are the documents which are being transacted day in day out basis by the medical representatives. I'm sure you would agree with this. All these documents are complied as per the court of law to be signed by either of the digital signature or the e-sign certificates. Now, there are certain differences between the conventional digital signature and e-sign, which I have rightly mentioned, that one is completely hardware-based kind of a signature. One, there you do not need any hardware, and there are other differences which you can, which I'll be sharing this PPT with you, and you can definitely go through detailed understanding. And these are two architectural diagrams for e-signature, and both are for e-signature actually. So let us not be, I'll not overwhelm with you all these structural devices. We can definitely go into a different technical call to make understand what this architecture actually means and how the implementation is done. So, and this is a very good and user-friendly e-sign portal that we have, that you can definitely try out on a free period also, and you can enroll as a person or as an organization, and you can try out for a 30-day trial period how this e-signature and digital signature works in your case. Thank you so much.
Cool. Why no thank you on the slide? Just kidding. Yeah, you can stop the screen share. All right, thanks for that. I'll give 30 seconds for anybody to share feedback. Otherwise, you know what will happen. I'll share. Nothing will happen. Okay, anybody wants to go?
The PPT slides, the content
The alignment of the icons are not clear.
Okay, the alignment could be like slightly modified. Okay, what else?
I just want to understand from Siddharth, is it the same presentation that he is going to present to the clients? Because most of the content is already outdated.
Okay, so Sid, she wants to ask like, is it the same presentation still going? Because maybe some content needs to change. Like, I think.
No, it's
some
one of the
architecture-
old, it's one of the old presentations actually. Yeah.
Old one. Okay. So no worries on that. We are safe. Okay. Tech team need not worry. Oh my God. Okay, I'll go ahead, Sid. Sid, I think you will not be able to hear. Can you hear me? Oh,
No,
is
we
it-
can hear you. We can hear you.
Fine. I think overall there is a good flow of the presentation. You gave a brief of what it is about. And I think maybe your assumption was we are all health secretary, health ministers, and health department officials. So I think you had that role play. And what is eMudra like also you introduced, because for that kind of audience, they need to know, oh, this organization is so big that will when they'll give the attention to you. And I think you also covered that benefits, right? The persuasion was there. Hey, with this particular deployment, there'll be better efficiency, there'll be better viability or compatibility. Oh, this is how things will get better. And one thing is in the digital signature, I've been hearing a lot. I digitally signed a few things myself, but within health department itself, there's so many use cases I didn't know. And that was one thing I was curious. I wanted to know like how wide and like eMudra's use cases are within health department itself is
Yeah.
so many, and for you like hundreds of use cases. So that I had that little wow factor as a layman. Oh, so many things can be done with digital signature. Otherwise, it's like, okay, fine. It was not getting to that sense. And I think when I told you that, hey, the time is up, I think you quickly adapted, especially those dense slides there, where like, hey, this thing I'll share the PPT with you and you can go through later. Because most of the times people, they're different stakeholders. Say there is a tech team, there is this decision maker boss. The boss won't look at the architecture in general. I could be wrong. There are some bosses who are technical tech savvy, want to get into the details, but they want to know high level and they'll have their team members. Boss, आप देख लेना, like अच्छा है क्या डाल सकते हैं हम, like because they will want to delegate to them. That slide onwards, their attention won't be so high and they expect you to have a conversation later and sort things about the compatibility. So you quickly told, hey, we can take this little later and continue. I think that's a quick adaptation in real time. And even when you're presenting, it's the same thing. If it is a long presentation where they're expected, where they'll stay and they'll tell, okay, our team will take it forward, you continue and they'll step out. Or they'll tell, okay, after this 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, have a follow-up meeting with the team. So that kind of winding up was good. Like bunch of small things. One thing is about eMudra slide, right? Given that that is something like very important one. Slide redesign would help. For example, on slide 3, you had icons, right? So in this thing, I won't say exact same thing, but like similarly, like for example, you are in so many countries and it is very important slide. You can break it into 2 parts and have like a map or some sort of thing which gives that factor or the absorption. Oh, like so much thing is there. How many countries eMudra is in there right now?
25 plus already.
25 plus already, right? Like, no, I think now people are still thinking. You didn't
No,
tell
I
them to
mean,
move.
no, I'm not saying that it could be always, we have offices in all 25 places, but we are operating in those places. We are working.
Whatever. Say you want to project a particular number, there are 2 ways. One, you show 25, or otherwise you have that map and like big icons. So it gives that it's a very worldwide global, right? So that eMudra slide, I felt like it is a very powerful one and you can just like fine tune it a bit. And last one is timing. I think once I gave the feedback on the go, you quickly adapted to it. But in general, like if you keep that into account, like thinking that, hey, I'll tell this still slide. This slide I'll not elaborate and I'll tell, hey team, like I'll be sharing this PPT or we can have later. That will be good. So I think this was one feedback. I think people are like, we were giving feedback, don't have so much content. I heard some this thing like, no, here that's how it happens and we need to give those details.
one, there is a middle way for both of us. It is true. Depending upon the context, whoever you're speaking, you can definitely have slide with lot of flow charts, diagrams and all, but make sure you're taking that time from the other people that you're going to explain that, right? Because if that context is clear, go for it. Like you can write as much as you want. But sometimes if it is a high level meeting, like you can still show that slide, but need not run through the details because see, at the end of the day, it is all time. Like you work backwards of how much time you have. You have 3 hours time. You share when first eMudra office started to what next is planned. Everything can be done. But if it is 30 minutes, you need to figure out. So the best analogy I think I shared earlier, but I'm sharing it again. Movie teaser, movie trailer, movie. You have like 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 3 hours. How much ever time you have, based on that you adapt. Within that, you have the freedom. But most of the times what happens is we run out. We have seen in multiple places, people have some strong points. That strong point is like reserved till the end. After 50% of the time, I'm sure, right? Right now, I dragged you guys till 12 o'clock or 12:15 it is. Your attention is way less than what it was at 10:30 to 11. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes.
Based on your response itself, I can make it. Now, why do you think the client would be different? He is not a robot. If you have a 1 hour presentation, trust me, after 30 minutes, you're almost gone. You need to figure out some jalak or break or this thing where they wake up. It is the same. Whenever you feel, man, these presentations or these trainings are long, assume whenever you have your internal these things, it is the same. It is no different. So with that, I'll stop right now. We'll take a break. It's already been a while. So thanks, Siddharth. Who are remaining still? Sri, Keshav, Madhava, one more. I forgot your name.
Avinash.
Avinash. Online, how many are remaining? 4. Here, 4. Manju, is your presentation done? Online, whoever is remaining. Okay, we'll just take a break.
Me also.
Amit,
Yes.
12:17, when can we come back? 1 o'clock? No. 12:35, is it fine? 12:35. Okay, cool. We'll like come back at 12:35. So whatever I have to share, in fact, I'm trimming it down. We'll finish it quickly. I want all of us to share so that the feedback part is done. Our explanations is, I'll share the PPT later. So cool. Thanks everyone. We'll see you after 15 minutes. Don't go away entirely.
Okay, sure.
Whoever is at to give online, please comment their name so that I just plan here. Okay, please comment your names.
connector, you want to connect? Okay, okay. అవునా? I was shocked to know hey, I should. Muted. Can you move the slide? You mute your systems. System like here. You have the volume, right? Done it or it's done? Okay, then why? Yes. Sid, Manju, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, you are audible now.
Uh, Anup, Amit, can you hear us? Siddharth, Singh.
Yes, Naveen, I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you, man. Able to see the screen, Siddharth? Okay. Siddharth, able to see the screen? I've shared.
Yes, 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 Srini.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Srinivas. Today I'm going to walk through about MSONET 2.0. You might have heard or know about MSONET 1.0. We named it, which is the older version. Now we are migrating that experience to a newer version.
Laptop said, other player.
Migration from .NET Framework to .NET Core. Today I'm going to talk about the problem statement with the existing model and what the mitigation offers, as well as the mitigation milestones and the key outcomes. So before jumping into the problem statement, what we discussed earlier, right, with Mr. Naveen, the pinpointing or what are the problem statements that have. This is internal purpose only. No piracy, nothing. And the problem statement one, and this is an interaction between an enterprise or an corporate client against the sales guy. So the specs guy is a client. So he's asking, is your product ready for Kubernetes deployment? Our sales guys says what we can customize. But we can customize is every time it comes out of the sales guy's mouth, and the pressure will be on the tech team. How to do that, how to tackle that, how to deliver that, right? Problem statement two. Is it a three-tier architecture? Same response, no, but we can customize. And we have delivered also. Problem statement three. Do you support MS SQL or other databases? As you know, most of your whoever has experienced themselves, right? We support only MySQL as a database, the backend. So here also no, only MySQL is what we support. That's the response till now. Problem statement 4. Can your product be deployed in Linux environment? Embedded developed 10 years back, used .NET framework, which is an Windows-based dependency is there, and it supports only Windows as an operating system. Now, all these 4 statements we want to overcome with this migration. So, what the migration offers? Future proofing. .NET Core is actively developed and supports by Microsoft, while .NET Framework is legacy. And performing. We have seen 50% faster response times with respect to the .NET Core when it compared with .NET Framework. And cross-platform, it runs on Windows, Linux, any operating system it runs. And even it can be containerized, where we can launch in Kubernetes in environment. Cloud and DevOps ready, need to support Docker, Kubernetes, and CI/CD pipelines. And security and modernization, faster security updates are much faster with respect to .NET Core and compared with .NET Framework. And we can access the latest C# features as well. And what migration milestones and key outcomes that we have. And as a beta version, we have already launched this .NET Core version in production as well. Some of you might be aware, and it's running successfully in production as well. And we have taken it as a modular level. So one module is live, second module we are working on, and third module is the total launch of the product. And what we have achieved as part of the milestone is that we have done this 3-tier architecture where the presentation layer is done on core UI, ASP.NET Core UI, and the business layer is on the RESTful web APIs with all the business logic will be over there, and the data access layer is an entity framework which can connect to any database. If the client says MS SQL, we are ready. If the client says Oracle, it can be plugged in over there. Enhanced security and compliance implemented OAuth as an authentication mechanism with a refresh token, with an validity, and everything can be customized as per the client needs and everything. So all those things has been taken care. Even the CSP is the much need of the hour for the banking systems. Even that has been implemented. And performance optimization, we have seen the API responses after converting to core with 1 or 2 seconds. And seamless modernization, all modules communicated via secure REST APIs and modular scalable and ready for cloud as well as mobile. And the APIs at what we have developed, right? It can connect to the web UI, mobiles, even the back office system, everything through the REST APIs.
and security and modernization, faster security updates and access. I think it went right. This point I covered in the previous slide. Ah, the last thing. This is the locations which you are there at the moment. I want to go to Singapore sometime. Maybe this training will be a path for that. Okay, thanks, Srinivas. So, who wants to share feedback? Avinash, Sanjay. I wanted to ask Keshav, but I didn't know because I asked him twice already. So maybe Srinivas wants feedback from you.
Yeah, no, the the articulation of the complete the problem as well as what is the resolution for that particular thing was neatly covered, and maybe you might have already faced what is being happening within the sales team or with the external team, and they are presenting engineer what is missing, what is lacking, and all those things, which he had is in mind, has articulated in such a way that what sales team has to see and what they used to face as a problem, that he has put in first 3 slides. Next slides, he covers how it makes a difference when it comes to the new version of .NET Core and all those things that he has articulated properly. Right? And the last thing is with respect to the knowledge on all these aspects, how it can improve and all those things. So, even when it comes to the presentation, he has covered within the time limit what was provided. Summarizing everything, that was quite one of the important things he has done in a good manner.
Nice. Thanks. You know, you should give it read. That's the longest feedback Keshav given to anyone till now. Maybe if he owes you any treat, it's debt settled. Others, Vinay.
Only one question.
Question.
Go back to previous one. That database no dependencies, like how the same code supports multiple databases because syntax will be different.
We have
right?
done this entity framework. When it comes to
Okay.
the entity framework, right, there are 2 things. One is code first, other one is the database first.
Okay.
We are using this database first approach,
Okay.
where all the database tables, right,
Hmm.
will be a data models in your code.
Okay.
Right? In code, if you define string, right, any database it can be. If it is an MS SQL, it can be a VAC, right? It can convert.
Okay.
Integer, if you define, it can convert an integer in the respective database and it can talk.
What do you
So
what,
when
what
we
do we
go
call
for
that?
this database first approach, what happens is that we will be not creating the database. It's the existing database that the code will connect. Code first approach is it creates the database runtime and it connects. That's the only difference.
Entity framework.
Right.
Well explained.
Spring Data API, Hibernate, it will also create tables for you.
That's the code
Tables.
first approach, where it creates the tables on the fly.
Okay.
Cool. Me and the sales team, it went like this. Okay. Next, there are a lot of good things. How can you guys not sharing? It is so visible. Okay, I'll proceed. Srinivas, I think great presentation. First thing is, I think you set the context of what you're going to cover. And also you told like, hey, this is 1, 2, 3, ABC. These are the points. I think that was really good. And one of the beautiful, excellent approach I loved here is those 2 graphics, like real-time situations. I'll tell you what is a subpar version of it. This is good, right? I'll tell you how you can do the thing in average reverse. Because most of the times we might end because you'll get a sense. You can put client eMudra, just 2 lines. Client eMudra, client eMudra. That is an average version of it. But now the moment you put like 2 characters with this purple things, it becomes very appealing, right? People are like, oh, this is the conversation. You are able to visualize a lot of things. Oh, because this is how things will do. So that is the difference. A lot of times you will find few things which you can take it to the next level. This I felt like the good one. Like having that characters, we felt like, oh, this is the conversation, how it happens. So that was excellent. And I think you told these are the things which the migration offers. Okay, you told migration is a solution, and these are the things which offers 1, 2, 3. And obviously the transitions, font, everything was good. I'm not getting into the details. And you are prepared for FAQs. When I was so eager to ask that, it's like Naveen, I'll ask this. Don't stop.
few things I think which can take from good to excellent is, I think the client and the eMudra, you were explaining, hey, this is client, this is eMudra. Maybe just a small label of the client and eMudra that will remove that hassle of even you explaining it. The moment I see it, oh, this is client, this is eMudra, that will make it excellent. And I think this is another point which I mentioned, right? That in this whole thing, the hero or the protagonist part is the migration. Is that right? So there you take a pause. Okay, these are the problems. What is the solution? Migration. It can be highlighted. Right now, I think we immediately went to it, but maybe a small solo single slide for that. That will make it give that emphasis that, oh, this is the thing. They'll remember migration is the main one and they'll continue. And I think within the migration, there are 5 key outcomes. Like migration, you told 5 points. It's like if you tell, like there are 5 benefits, people will keep on listening. Say you tell benefit 1, benefit 2, they're like, oh, 3, 4, 5. The mind will go in that sequence. For example, I'll give you 3 tips. Tip 1, tip 2, your mind will be thinking, what is tip 3? So your attention is with me, right? So anything which you, in case you have points, for example, migration have 5 benefits. If you tell 5 benefits and you go slide by slide, their attention will be intact. These are like very subtle attention techniques and they'll make a lot of difference, because see, at the end of the day, you have a great presentation, but are they giving the attention? And these subtle things will make it to the next level. But overall, I think like a great one, I loved that unique approach of that characters. I think a lot of us can steal it. I definitely recommend steal it. Even I am stealing it. So if you see it, me anywhere doing any video, don't worry, I'll give credit to you. Otherwise, I'm telling you right now. Because see, most of the times, that is the best case to explain a scenario, right? Like 2 characters, discussion, people are like, oh, this happened. And I don't know how many will you remember, like say in the evening, these characters will stay in the mind. Oh, this corner, I might forget the nuances. That's the power of pictures, or it's basically like a good screenplay. So we'll pick that up, we'll lift it. Thanks, Srinivas. Okay, who's next? Keshav, you will not be last today. That is for sure. If you want to join, join. Okay. Faster, 12:51. After 1 PM, tummy will growl. After 1:15, I can't hold. And I didn't even start why I have to start. But most of the points which I needed to share today, Srinivas, I see you have at 1 o'clock. I'll share the PPT, but those are the things. Whatever I shared orally, we put it in the PPT. But instead of running you through the PPT, I just ran you with examples. What is one, while Keshav comes, what is one more super critical area where presentation is very important? Think your own perspective. Forget client, forget other team member. What is one area in the professional domain?
Knowledge sharing.
Oh, knowledge sharing is one. Vinesh is always looking to empower others. That's nice. That's a good one. Basically, when you're presenting your own work, right? Whatever you're doing, of course, it might not be this presentations, animations, and all that stuff. But the question is, whatever you're doing on a scale of 1 to 10, you need not tell me the answer right now, but you just think it for yourself. What is the rating you give to yourself? Like, hey, I'm doing this work, right? 10 is like, I'm presenting in the best possible way. They understood and I did it in a very persuasive manner. 1 is like, man, like I do a lot, but when it comes to like talking about it, 5 is like, okay, fine. I do work and I kind of share. You need not tell me the number. Keep the number within yourself, right? Like whatever work I am doing, online folks, you can hear me, right? I won't even.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that is one important presentation metric. One thing is PPTs as such, but later we will get into the aspect of you presenting your work is a major thing. There are certain nuances, but we can discuss later. That is one use case. Other thing is like sharing with
team members, that knowledge transfer, your idea, your point, all that is fine.
Recording in progress.
Online, who will go next? Who wants to go next? You can raise your hand. I mean, via emoji. Go on to.
Making a present. Yeah.
Apart from
This thing is not. Is it about building architecture?
What it is.
Oh, then it is about architecture. I partially guessed it.
It's a technical aspect.
Okay, yes, not bad. I'm not as terribly technically handicapped as I thought. Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, the date is wrong there. So to start with, yeah, people can develop any application. AI can come, anything can come. But end of the day, it has to come and sit in the data center to serve the sub customers. So that is what we do actually. So to start with, I think Siddharth has already given what is that we operate. We provide our trust services as well. And Srini has already almost covered with the mSigner part, which is our cloud services which we provide. So these two are the two things which we actually serve to the customers. First thing, when it comes to the trust services, there are something called as a regulated boundaries to serve this particular application. So we run our own data center within our premise, and we have mSigner, which is running as a SaaS application, which is running in the cloud platform. So today I'll take you around how we manage our trust services as well as the cloud platform to the customers. And also the security overview, how we are build the security and all those things. So to start with, so we have our on-premise data center. So we have our on-premise data center in our Bangalore office as well as in Chennai. So we run our trust services through. And the mSigner is hosted in our AWS platform that we use it for the cloud platform as well. And these two are the major platforms which we manage as part of the data center as well as the backend system. So coming to the application overview, as I said, so we run our trust services. The trust services, when I say we have two different trust services, one which operates under the CCA regulation, which we call it as Controller of Certifying Authority, which we offer eSign as well as the DSE related things. And we have something called as mSign Trust Services, which we offer as a SSL certificate, which is under the global platform, which we issue like it is equivalent to your GoDaddy or VeriSign or something like that. So it is equivalent to that particular thing. And we also have something called as a remote signing services, which we provided for the external customers to integrate with our signing solutions. And these are the common services which is integrated with all these particular trust services like invoice payment system. So we have a lead manager, which is called as CRM. Yeah, these are the common services which is integrated with all these particular services. So coming into the cloud infrastructure, how our mSigner is hosted in the cloud platform. So this is, you can start from the top to bottom. So we operate in different regions. We have our SaaS application in Mumbai region. We have in US, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. So all these regions we operate our emSigner applications in cloud platform. And there are some critical services which we use as part of the AWS services, which we call it as cloud HSM. We have S3 bucket, Lambda, we have Route 53, which is used for DNS management. We have WAF, RDS, and EC2. So these are the critical services which is tightly integrated with the emSigner platform to operate and serve for the customers. So this is just a top-down view of our cloud infrastructure, how it looks, and which all the regions we operate. And this is the network architecture which we actually managing in our data center in Bangalore and Chennai. So whenever the customer starts his journey for any of these services like eSign services or DSE or SSL or private TK or any of the DSA services. So whenever the customer starts his journey in our platform, his request will be scrutinized in each and every layer of our security aspect. So we have a security layer, perimeter security layer, which verifies, means which filters. It is same like your water filtering. So it filters out all the unwanted things, and the water is moved to the next level of the security layer. So here we have different security layers. We have DDoS, we have antivirus, we have SSL inspection, we have IPS and IDS. So all these layers are scrutinized and it is sent to the final core system where our operation actually happens. Say like which Siddharth said about eSign operation, like key generation and everything. So it happens in the trusted layer of our network, which is the last layer of our network. So once that is processed, in the same way, it is returned back to the customer in the same filtered manner. So this is our network architecture, how it operates. And coming to the application and data center, the data architecture, this is just a top-down overview. So it is similar to like organization running the sales team and R&D team and a core team. So it is similar like that. So any customer who comes into our application, so first it will come to any client who comes to our eMudhra, it is the first person is the salesperson. So in the same way, it is our DMZ load balancer. It is similar to that type of thing. So everything is filtered over here. The main application will be receiving the DMZ zone, and then the application will be forwarded to the next core part of our application where actual process happens. That happens between, there is a barricade between the DMZ application as well as the internal application. We have an internal firewall, and then it will move on to the core application, core systems like eSign core certificate manager, eSign core system. And then there is a connectivity between the application to the database. So this is just a bird eye view of how our application and architecture works and our data center works. So it is 1:1. So whatever the systems that you see in primary DC, the same thing is there in the secondary DC. So whenever there is a failure happens or anything happens or any disaster happens in the primary, automatically it will shift it to the secondary DC. So these are the key tools which we use for monitoring the complete infrastructure. So we use Zabbix, we use WISP, which is again an open source threat intelligence system. We have Kibana. Kibana is basically we use it for a centralized monitoring system. So any transactions which is done by the customer or anything happening within the data center, all logs will be coming and sitting in the Kibana system. So in Kibana, we have something called a visualization system where we have visualized and we have prepared some of the dashboards and everything which we monitor as part of the data center routine work. And Surikata, which is again a network threat intelligence system. So anything which malicious activity which is happening within the network, so it scrutinizes all those particular things. So here also it has IPS and the detection and the prevention system. So both are integrated here. So Datadog is only basically we use this for monitoring the cloud platform like AWS and all those things. So these are the key tools which we monitor through the data center in the centralized mode. So this is just a monitoring mechanism how we do. So as I said, so emSign plus services is there. So Indian plus services is there, and the cloud infra is there. So all these things are monitored through this particular tools in a centralized manner through the data center. So these are some of the dashboards which we monitor on daily basis. So these are the system and app monitoring dashboards. And so this is also some of the dashboards which is related to the Kibana as well as the Datadog. These are the routine jobs which we do from data center to in the centralized system. Thank you.
Right. Feedback time. Feedback time. Feedback time. Who starts? Who will give critical feedback to Keshav will get treat from me. I don't know what you'll get from Keshav.
He has covered whatever.
Are you telling critical feedback or positive feedback? Okay. Continue, Sri. Go ahead.
I think he covered what are the operations that he does on a daily routine and his team. All the points he has covered and the slides are also very. Has knowledge on the operations and they create.
Okay. Next. Just kidding. It need not be for the sake of it. Yeah. Anyway, what do you like? There's so much to like. How can
the chats and
Like,
explanation.
you're not seeing or you're like, okay, man, I'll not share. What I don't know what is it. Okay, Sanjay.
Context wise only we can understand based on the
Correct.
chat and representation.
The
everything.
whole layout was so clear.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that makes all the works.
All the flow, everything, if we see it, oh, this is coming, like I have no clue of anything here, but I'm like, okay, this is how it will come. This is like, it was making some sense. Absolutely.
Layman terms. So on the layman terms.
Correct. What else? Anyone online, whatever you liked? Okay, I'll just go. Keshav, first thing is, I think it's a great opening. I mean, I'm curious, either you didn't notice or you're not giving weightage to it. I don't know. But yeah, if you see, right, he told, hey, whatever we are doing, ultimately it needs to sit in the data center. That is like, dude, I'm going to tell you something very important. So that elevation was there, right? So that is, your openings will matter a lot because whatever may happen, like, hey, this is the thing. So you're telling that, hey, I'm going to talk about something very important. So that is one thing. See, the point is, it's not just about Keshav's thing. If we like something, for example, Srini something is there, Sanjay some other day, like whatever Damodar something we like, we can just pick whatever we like. I'm just summarizing it for you, but you can have others. So great opening, Keshav. Next is the context is set. Like, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about. And I think very good designs, very colorful. Like it was very appealing. And I think one of your strength is being confident and calm. And I think you can amplify that. You need not change your personality, go like theatric and all, but give pause. Just by pausing, your confidence and like the calmness, whatever power it has, it will amplify significantly just by pause. And that is doable, right? Other things I'm not giving you. If you give a pause, because it is a very important topic, dense topic, the moment you give pause, people will observe and it also increase the impact you can create. And the eye contact, I think it's two ways. I feel you did a good job in switching between the screen and the audience. You're doing it fine. Only slight difference is increase that more towards the audience, right? Like more of, I think some aspects where you need to show, maybe go. Like right now, say it is 50-50. I would suggest go 70-30. Like 70% look here, 30% like where you need to show specifically, where you need to point and all, go with your hand. And in fact, bigger stages, obviously you'll use the laser pointer and all. So that is fine. And next thing is, I think that analogy with the customer journey. Analogies will take your presentations to the next level. And especially if it is given to the layman. For example, Dinesh, when you're like telling to customers, sir, this is how it will be and all. When you tell with an example, like some real life example, like sir, just with a car, you start with this 1, 2, 3, like that, you do this set of 1, 2, 3, they'll remember. I think here you told, hey, eMudra, first a customer comes to the sales, like this, it comes to the load balancer. I know nothing of these terms, but I'm able to recollect. So that's the power of the analogies. That is done really great. And I think Sanjay covered excellent structure of the diagrams and all. I think one thing you downplayed significantly is transitions, because the content was so good, but given that it came entirely on a single slide at a once, the impact was not as much as its power. Maybe in the other presentations, you can just update it, or some presentations, maybe you need to put everything in a single go. There, I'm not telling that do one line, then show the arrow. No, that's not what my point is. But wherever it is relevant, go that step by step because the whole graphics, everything was so powerful. The transitions will convey that power. Otherwise, like I told you, remember this thumb rule. Whenever you're putting any content on the slide, audience default will start reading everything. They'll not go in the flow which you want. For example, you want to take it from cover this and go like this, they'll not do. They'll start from right side only directly, wherever they want to see. So attention management will go off, right? So yeah, I think pause. Last thing, Keshav, I think again, powerful impact which can create is the summary. So as a summary, this is what, and this is for all. Whenever you are concluding the presentation, please give. So as a summary this, or you can include that line or without that, but summarize it. Because like whatever they're absorbed it'll reinforce. But overall, I think again, like excellent one. I think a lot of things we should just copy. So especially with analogies and openings. Mind you guys, this is the most, every team does it, right? Hey guys, you, for example, if I'm the sales guy, you can build any product you want, but at the end of the day, we need money. So sales is very important. And let me run you through the sales process, right? You can bring any sales, you can build any product, but if your customers queries are not addressed, what is the point? Customer support is the pillar. Let me run you through it. Basically, whatever function you have, you can give that elevation. So I'm just copied Keshav's thing. I didn't even plan for this. I'm like, oh, Keshav did something. I'm seeing Dinesh. Oh, let me see how I can copy for it. So like this, elevation is something you can copy. So thanks for that, Keshav. So 110 it is. We need to run. Avinash, you can come quickly. Don't worry. You'll do great. Who else is there?
Babaji.
Babaji, I'll skip you, man. We'll have honest ones. Okay, stage I can't give you. I can give you feedback, but yeah, we'll finish. You need to connect this one. No? Online folks, can you see the screen Avinash is sharing? I hope.
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Before starting, I have take the time to go back before 2010. In bank openings,
Absolutely. We'll wait. You'll wait or not? Kiran, will you wait or not? He'll wait.
yeah, before opening means before 2010, we have to open a bank account in our banks. It will take long process. It will take documents. It will take time. It will take photocopies, and we have to stand in long queues. But now it will take only 5 to 10 minutes because of that eSign and digital innovations. And in our and thanks for the digital innovations. And I will walk you through how eMudra and eKYC works. And in eMudra, we'll have simply I have to create an account. Based on account will be like after login is you have to verify your digital certificate, means digital document provided by government, that is Aadhaar, PAN, and will that link to mobile number. After that KYC verification, it will find to our CA, that is our external one of the internal team is there, dedicated team that will approve that account. And after approval account, that will process the subscriber agreement. After subscriber agreement, the KYC is activated. But here this is a common flow. Everyone is follow. That is simple way. But here we are doing some extra, that is storing the user information. But storing user information is not a simple way to like because we're using some user sensitive information like name, DOB. we have to provide some security for that. That is a major thing we are doing here. And key applications, yeah, we are using in all of major of the banks applications and organizations for doing the KYC flows, and we are integrated in both, like we are providing both for individual and organizations for organization complete. And the benefits, yeah, it will take more 5 minutes to onboarding, so it will take less time to means create account and reduce the paperwork printing operation cost. Yeah.
You're making it along the way. We should have given you more time. Done? Okay, okay. All right. Unless this is your first time presenting? Wonderful. So we have two people who did their debut today. I'll quickly start. Like debut is very difficult. Kiran can tell more than anyone else here because he did his debut today. It is a very nervous thing, but I think you did a great job. After you go in here, especially whenever we do this first times or in initial stages, the first and foremost thing you should do is pause the critical monster within. All of us, if you don't have that critical monster, I'm very happy. If not, there is a critical monster which resides in our head. Bad man, screwed up, I didn't go, whatever. It will tell you all the things, it will tell you all the things negative. It will not tell you that, hey, this is your first time, Kiran, this is your first time, Avinash, like you went out of your comfort zone. It will not tell you anything. In general, mind is wired towards, like, I won't say negative things, dangers, because that's a survival mechanism, right? Because back then the tiger will kill us, the storm will kill us, the snake will kill us, or the dangerous fruit will kill us. You don't know what will kill when we are like cavemen. So that instinct will still remain in us. So especially when we do this kind of things, first reaction, if it is negative, it is natural, but go beyond it, right? So Avinash, you did a great job. You went out of your comfort zone. I think it is a very one of the finest openings again for me because you told before and after. Earlier, the banks had this cumbersome process, you need to do so much, but now it is simplified. People are like, oh yeah, that is true, na? Like that is good. Like, so then they're like, there's something is happening here, it's important. And I think your presentation overall flow is, it had a theme of minimalistic, what we call as minimalist. Minimalist means you have few simple light colors and aesthetically it is appealing. That's called minimalistic. In fact, even type minimalistic designs, you'll have a lot of images on the internet. I think it had that theme and overall covered very well. And as a first timer, few things are normal, but I think don't underestimate yourself. For example, you made a really nice PPT, but you went to the second slide for most of the time, right? The first slide again, you went back and all. When you had like such a good PPT, you should go for it. That is one. And last thing is again, as a first timer, it's expected. Be comfortable. Say, hey, thank you, everyone. Any questions on this thing? I think the thank you slide was also not very immediately rushed. You put so much effort. Is it there?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Did you see thank you slide? He didn't play, right? So you had a thank you slide, but you didn't play. As a first time, it is completely accepted, but I'm just telling these are small things which will happen. But overall, a great one. All the best for the next presentations. Okay. Start with corporate today. Everyone here covered, right? Anyone else? Where
Our previous classes were
covered?
No. This is my previous class I was absent. I was not aware.
Okay, then you need to go to PPT. And so we'll just. Don't worry, Bhavana, 9 slides only.
Uh-huh.
9 slides only. It will be over quickly.
I have no problem.
So yeah, good afternoon. So I'm Babaji. So I work as a software developer. So many of us know what is digital signature and how it works, but I'll just walk you through how backend works actually. So basically, what will happen in the backend? So that signing process I will walk you through. So the agenda will be first I'll be discussing what is the digital signature, then why it matters. So after that, I'll be explaining different types of signing process. There is document based and hash based signing, and I'll explain how this whole signing flow works basically. So coming to the digital signature. So what are they and why you need them? So in the previous presentation, we already seen Siddhartha explain that. So what is digital signature? So basically, a digital signature is an electronically signing a document using your digital identity, a PAN or Aadhaar. So like in the old days, we had a kings used to seal the letter and send you the thing, right? So like that seal is nothing but this digital signature. So you know that when that seal is opened, so you know that that is tampered. So it is the similar way this how this digital signature signing works. So like why it matters. So this digital signature ensures that security. So it ensures that whatever if you take a digitally signed document and if you pass it to any email or Teams or any phishing websites, so it maintains that integrity. So the signature won't be tampered. So even if it's tampered, you would be able to make out like it is what is it the tampered document. Then you know it is used all over world like tax filing, eKYC, contracts. So it eliminates printing and signing manually. So and the next thing is that so how digitally signing works hash based. So there are two ways actually. So one is a document based signing and one more is hash based signing. So in the document based signing, what you would do, you will send the whole document to the API, then they will sign the document and send you back the signed document. So for example, if you want to transfer a 10 MB PDF over the internet, so that usually they would prefer a base64 data of while transferring the data. So a 10 MB file would when it is converted to base64, the have you any idea how many characters it would take to transfer a 10 MB file? So that would be around 13.8 million characters, a 10 MB file. Okay, so how do we sign that big document in seconds? So that is when the hash-based signing comes into picture. So what we're gonna do, instead of sending whole document over the internet, we just send a fingerprint of the document. We send a single, a 64 character value of the document over the internet. So we send the hash of the document and we send that hash of the document to the signing provider. So signing provider is like eMudhra. So they sign that particular hash and send you back the signed document. So then once you send the hash to signing provider, so where you enter Aadhaar number and OTP, then you will do the signing process. Then the signing provider will return you the signed hash. Okay. And so this is the signing flow, how this works. So basically you have an unsigned document. So instead of sending this whole document, so what you'll be doing, you will calculate a hash value here. So this will be a 64 character, whether it is a 1 MB or 10 GB or 100 GB. So the value will not change. So that is the reason instead of transmitting large data, you'll be transmitting only 64 characters of data over the internet. So then once this hash is calculated, that hash is sent to eSign provider where they will sign that particular hash, and they'll append the signature to that document, to the particular hash. Then that hash is transferred back to your where the signature has to be appended. Then you will append that particular signature to the document. Then you will get the completed signed document. So then once you get this digitally signed document, then you will have an authenticity that it won't be tampered or something like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Ajay, you want to give feedback?
Yeah.
I know. Go ahead. Sanjay, you can look at it.
He has a good technical background on what he is doing, so there is nothing doubt in that. And he has also picturized everything. So, but only thing is that even I saw the video of mine when I'm doing a presentation. Even I was using so much of so. Even I didn't realize that what I'm saying. I saw the video and realized, okay, I have to give the pass because even he has mentioned, I mean, last time. So I will say the same to you. So don't use so. Pause it so that time it will be everything perfect.
Next. Vinay, Damodarji.
Yeah, presentation was very good. Like even the graphics what he has used,
Okay.
that was very nice.
Anything else? Avinash? Okay, maybe I'll just go ahead. Like, first thing, I think, Babaji, I felt you were quite comfortable with the space. There was no sign of nervousness, or at least I couldn't find. Maybe you're nervous, right? It's not visible. So you're good with hiding in that case. Next thing is the context was set. Like, hey, I'll tell you what happens behind the scenes. So we know what he was going to speak. And the flow was like very clear. And you used one analogy, I forgot what that was. But
King stamp.
King stamp, correct. Again, right? Like,
Yeah.
I forgot because I was there somewhere, but you are able to recollect. That is the power of analogies. You use an analogy, use it aptly, you will have the people's attention or it will give an impression. Eye contact, I think it's again similar 50-50. It is good that you maintain eye contact, but predominantly maintain 70-30, right? Go there only when it is needed so that they are with you. When you are little 50-50, again, you lose them a bit. I think the flow diagrams are really helpful to understand what the process was. But in the previous one, you had flow diagram in one. I felt the previous one could also had that because I was just, you had text, this will happen and all. But the same thing, if you could explain in that flow, it will be good. Few areas to take it to the next level, it will apply for all of us. Like you're trying to tell, for example, this conference room is now very comfortable with spacious seating. But let me run you through what happens in the design phase to ensure you have the best kind of a seating for all participants, right? So there, I think you just like elaborate a bit in terms of how important it is. Like you're telling something which is behind the signature, what happens. So you can tell the signature processes, people get a document, they'll do it and it happens. It's very seamless. But you know what? A lot happens behind it. Then people are like, oh, really? What is it? Like something like the curiosity factor which drives. And they'll like sit, okay, you're telling me so much will happen. Tell me what will happen, right? And another thing again, right? Whenever you're telling, like for example, the document sign, if I'm not wrong, is a 5-step process. The moment you tell that, hey, the document signing is a 5-step process. Step 1, this happens. Then people, again, same thing, repetition. They'll wait for what you will tell in step 2, step 3, unknowingly. They'll give you their attention. If not, it is verbose. I don't know when this will end. Imagine going to a movie. Okay. You don't know when it will end. Roughly all of us know this is a 2.5-hour movie, 3-hour movie, yes or no? Have you ever sat in a movie where you don't know when will this end, man? It's not the exact same thing, but I'm just telling whenever there is step-by-steps, 5 key takeaways or 5, anything which could be number, use it, you'll have the audience attention. Overall, like a great one. Congratulations, we finished. Maybe I think if anybody is left, we'll take it later. I know like we are short of time. Even I got a call that the lunch will be closing. So I'll just a second. Just give me 10 minutes and we'll finish this. You will go through the fastest training session ever. Folks online, can you hear me?
Yes, Naveen.
All right, so I understand it's little
Thank you,
late,
sir.
sorry. I just wanted to make sure everybody gets it. Okay, I'll be sharing this PPT, so I'll be going little in a rapid flow. Don't mind, is that okay? Is that okay with you all?
Yes.
Yeah, three elements which you need to take care, which is the content, design, delivery. The idea is whenever you're making a presentation, don't worry whether how you will deliver, whether you will do it good or not, how will the design. First think what you want to like talk about, briefly lay out, then go with like making it the design, delivery, and do it iteratively. Make the first version, later improvise it. Otherwise, you will keep on like stuck at one phase, right? You might get stuck at the design phase without planning for the delivery. Make a PPT which is like base, which has all these elements, then go for the iterations. Okay. And yeah, content. I'll just quickly. No need to pick all these learnings. Like if some learnings, there could be deviations. For example, there could be 2-3 things which you would be communicating in that slide. It is fine as long as you are clear that is okay, right? These are some foundational things. You can deviate here and there. Don't worry about following everything to the T. There will be some differences, but you should be clear that you are deviating and it is needed. Stick to one area per slide. Basically, that way people will have their attention and like support with visuals, like whatever you're already doing. Leave enough white space. If it is too much to this thing, like I told you, right? It is like a notebook. Imagine a notebook which is filled with notes end to end. You really won't find it pleasant. The same way, the presentations, you need to give that gap. Text heavy, you can have the text if you're telling that, like, for example, Keshav or someone told that, hey, after this, or Gibson, or I don't know who it is, like, I'll be sending you the presentation. So what happens is sometimes the presentation itself is the document. You're not sending any other text document as such. Whatever you're sending is the final thing. In that, go for the text if you want to. But text heavy slides is when you're presenting on stage or something like that, don't go, right? But when you're explaining something like that architecture or diagrams, you need to have the text. Go for that. And other things, right? Like multiple points and all this. Whenever it makes sense, do this. But if you're on the stage, definitely follow this. Don't put multiple text and all when you're doing big presentations, which this, if you're sending to the customer, they need to review it again, they need to follow it. Of course, they need to have it. Otherwise, don't. Yeah, this is clear. Add visuals, use high quality images. For example, in one of the slide, we have like some images in Google Images also. One, you have an option to download it in a right way. That is one. Second thing is there are some websites which give you access to copyright free images, HD. So you can go for it. Yeah, that's pretty much this here. This one slide thing is like with product or without product, you can mention that, like with eMudra or without eMudra. Without eMudra is like a block, with eMudra is like this one. So that way I understand the context. This one we covered. All this particular thing, what we meant to share is have the flow chart if you are sending it to the customer. Otherwise, in main stages, don't. Watermarked images, these are obvious things. Clip art, visuals without purpose, and avoiding visuals which clutter the slide. Don't go for it. This one, I think, Sanjay, this one which you used. One thing is, for example, if it is the title slide, only AI, artificial intelligence, and the tagline is enough. The description, you can skip it, right? Especially because yours is a generic one, which is useful for college students also. So even you can go onto the stage and give the same presentation. So there, the same thing. Yeah. This one, if you see some of the presentations, we had like 2 points just here on the top. Don't go for it, like have it in the midway. If it is too much, it leaves a lot of white space, which is awkward. That is the main thing here. This is one thing which we kind of saw, like there's a little gap on the top, you can skip it. Yeah, we have some standard fonts, and this is some guidelines which you can go through little later. Don't mind, I'm going a little fast. This is just for you to have a cursory glance. You'll have the PPT, so you can go through it later. This is some examples, right? Like where the fonts, you can see, these are all like incorrect usages, inconsistent, fancy. This is to give you a understanding of how much the font will be like. For few things where you need to use 12, 32, 40, like that. If you see the second one, right, the contrast is not very clear. So they need to put a little effort to go through it. It doesn't make sense. Brand colors, I think a lot of you have done it. Like, I think purple is your brand color. Zepto started first or eMudra? eMudra. Okay. eMudra owns purple. So yeah. Yeah, using multiple colors, bright, this thing, standard don'ts. None of you did it, so I'm not talking about it much. Here, I think if you're using purple background, if the text is also purple, there will be overlap. This is one example. Simple plain background, everybody has done it. This nobody has done that mistake. This is important for especially major presentation ones, right? You have like 7 bullet points and don't go more than that. Otherwise, it will become too much saturated. Max is 7. Begin with action-based words. In fact, I need to understand what it is. I'll get back and post it in the group. I didn't get the context here. Keep the format uniform throughout. That's clear. Long sentences is this one. Customer presentations, you can go for it. Internal or major stage ones, don't like have long sentences and other things. Bullets, appoint and all. Yeah. This is the one I think we spoke about in some presentation. The content was amazing, but just because the transition was not there, that effect didn't show up. So animations seem simple, but they'll have a lot of effect or impact. There'll be this some presentation. Some people want to make it nice and all. The text will come. Don't do that. Or like it'll have like funny animations. So unless it's like casual one, don't go for it. Because we saw in some professional presentations, like people are like, hey, they took the advice seriously, that grab attention. Like, hey, if it is like spinning, they'll pay attention. Don't do it. Right? And you need not animate too much on the screen. I think this we covered. And I'll just come, like, especially posture when you're coming. Hello, good morning, everyone. Don't do it. Come here, stand, and then say good morning. Thank you, then leave. Instead, it's like, okay, that's the last slide, and thank you, everyone. Don't do that. Right? And I think Bhavna, great presentation, like I said, and a bunch of others also. Pitch, it is little challenge. Pace is very easy. I'm telling something, later I can pause and tell. Pitch variation, it comes little more practice and all. I don't want to push you guys so much. If you want it optional, we can sit and discuss. But pace, definitely do it. A lot of presentations are really good. But given that they were going little non-stop, the effect was not coming as much. Pause, essentially pause. And practice, I think somebody was doing with while they're coming in the car and other stuff. Practice, I'll give a best example. Avinash Kiran, in fact. Open your laptop, open Zoom, record, do screen recording, do the same presentation. That's what even we discussed with Sanjay. That way you can refine it, have it recording to yourself and refine it. So that's the easiest way. You need not wait for the crowd. And be prepared for the Q&A session. I think somebody asked questions. Don't keep constantly looking
to the PPT, which we discussed, right? 50-50. Make it 70-30 max. Yeah. Take calls in between, interrupt audience. Yeah, I think this seems little normal, but okay, I think. Last one, always keep a backup because anything can malfunction, right? Your system, anything can crash. Just have like a printout, and not for all your this thing. Major presentation, you are giving some major presentation. Things you don't know what will happen in the last minute. So you have that. So even though the things don't work, you will go ahead and like still like prepare for it. Otherwise, what will happen is you are like way too much dependent on it. Acknowledge glitches with grace. I think somebody did this online. We were asking present this thing. They're like, it's okay, let me share it. That person was comfortable. Some people are like, they'll freak out. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, sir, I'll not give today. In fact, we had some people who are like, they dropped off because of a glitch. You guys are very confident, in fact. It's the story. A lot of people use that story. So that's a good one. Tech fails. I'll share, like, when I told about Steve Jobs, he's one of the greatest tech presenter, in fact. There are a lot of videos where Steve Jobs had glitches and he was frustrated. He was, I don't know, they fired someone maybe also. So how much you prepare? Even Tesla, they were releasing the Cybertruck. So Elon Musk is like, this glass is the best glass. Even you throw the iron ball, nothing will happen. He throws the iron ball, glass breaks. Right? So things will happen. And he's like, I think maybe we need to do it best time. That guy who designed it, like, yes. So things go crazy. And I think AWS or someone, they're talking about absolutely great technology, no outages. At that day, there was outage. So those are the scale which we are talking about. So you play that videos, it's okay. Yes, this thing. This is very important, especially with client presentations we did also. Don't schedule something, say it is 30 minutes. Make sure your presentation is only for 20 minutes max. What will happen if not, or like same with onboardings and other things, because I used to do those, right? They will ask questions after 30 minutes. That call will get extended. You will push the call to later, and your evening 6 will go to later, and that next will keep on going. It'll have that in the house. I have that analogy. Yesterday's rice, they'll give her yesterday's remaining. So today's rice will be tomorrow. I'll be eating since my grandmother's time on rice. It will be like that. So always keep buffer. Even with your schedules, if you have an 8-hour work day, if you are planning even for 7 hours, it will be out of the window. 6 is optimal. Based on whatever I hear from you guys, even if you do 4, it is good because rest of the 4 hours, some or other thing is coming. But don't do entirely. Don't keep your work presentations to the last thing. Otherwise, don't exceed. Yeah, don't spend this thing. This will come with practice and like roughly allocate. Okay, I have 5 minutes. I'll come to this mid slide by this point. You can come to that. That's it. Overall, we finished in 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone. So given that we don't have time, all the questions you can share it with me and I'll try to answer like personally through messages. But can we conclude? Do we have the permission?
Naveen, just one query. The PPT you have
And I-
shown this just now. You will share with us, right?
Do you want me to share?
Yeah, it will helpful.
Yeah, just kidding. That was meant to be shared.
So I think me and Amit were left. We are not able to get the give the presentation. So in next class, I think we will show.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Amit. Bye, Anu, Dipankar. Bye, Siddharth.
No, I think